The following is a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio. Our coverage of Dowling Catholic Sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, Mercy One, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Skeffington's Formaware, and Bozen the Florist. Thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
And good evening and welcome to playoff high school football tonight from Williams Stadium on Des Moines East Side. It's Dowling Catholic hosting the Davenport West Falcons in the first round of the Class 5A District Football here in Central Iowa. Mark Hamadale alongside Matt Mandry here in the press box at Duke Williams Stadium. And down on the field, John Chido getting his notes together as he sits on the Dowling sideline during this segment. Matt, welcome, and I see we both made it through the pancake breakfast on Sunday. Well, rather unscathed. You saw a few pictures that I shared with you, and I got through therapy this week with through that, but everything was good, and I hope it raised a lot of money. We had a lot of fun. We had met a lot of people. Matt,
yeah, we did. It was a good day, and Ron's okay because I've seen him all week in the building. You know, Mr. Gray is in well taken care of as he made it through unscathed as well.
Yeah, so we both got through our shifts. You as well. You did as well, and. Yeah. I didn't realize your wife was just about 80% through her Achilles rehab.
Yeah.
I did not know it lasted that long. So
yeah, it's a long haul.
As you know, I went up and told her, I said, Lisa, just keep milking that because you tell Matt it's 18 months, make it 2.5 years, and you got a winner.
On some things. Yeah.
Well, it's Dowling taking on Davenport West. First time these two teams have played since the 70s, and it was a championship game up at the old Clyde Williams Stadium in Ames, which no longer is. That's where the high school playoffs started out being played, and then they went to Iowa City. Then, of course, the Unidome was built in '76. So Dowling hasn't played Davenport West since a championship game. West won that, by the way, and here we are. And now West hasn't been in the playoffs for over 30 years, and they're now just getting things turned around. So the first time these two teams have played in many, many years, and it's tonight in the first round. The winner of this game, as Class 5A is set up in the pods, the winner of this game will meet the winner of the Waukee Northwest at Cedar Rapids Kennedy game. And these are all 7 o'clock kickoffs tonight. That game in Cedar Rapids at Kingston Stadium. So we know the winners know who they're going to play next week, and we'll go through some of the other pods. So that's always good, at least in the first round. Then when you get to the Unidome, Matt, they'll reseed everything.
Yeah, it takes some stress off of trying to figure out on the map who's the closest, where they're going to redo it, and all these things.
Sure.
And it is a lot nicer setup that they have made these pods, and it's just good for everybody. And it's going to be interesting as things play out. It has created 8 or 4 pods that have some potential.
Yep.
The potential is there as you look at the top 4 teams. Will it be Dowling and Southeast Polk and Pleasant Valley and Ankeny?
Yep.
Those 4 teams could get there as the top seeds, and so they did split them up, and that's the benefit of the system that they have in place.
Well, down in the field, John Chido, I'm sure he's got his ears on by now. He was politicking down there, I think. It is the political season, as we come to find out when we watch TV. And hi, Johnny. Yeah, good morning. Good morning and afternoon.
Well, hello to you, Mark.
Hey, you got a beautiful night down there. Just looked up the current conditions for our folks that are here. 61 degrees right now. A south-southeast wind at just 5 miles per hour, and humidity down to 42%. So a perfect night for Week 11, John, after we started out in the heat. And we had a pretty cold game here a few weeks ago, but now it's starting to level out. So beautiful night on a field turf here at Duke Williams Stadium on Des Moines East Side for high school football. Your thoughts? You heard Matt and I talking, that we're talking about the pods and the matchups and all that stuff.
Yeah, like Matt was mentioning, the way they have the 4 pods set up, the top 4 seeds is they're counting on those 4 teams getting to the Dome, obviously with their seedings, but I wouldn't be surprised by a couple upsets. Always is that kind of have to force them to reseed, because once you get to the semifinals, you do reseed. But first week of the playoffs, the weather is perfect. There is no wind. The flag is standing still, so you couldn't ask for better conditions. I think this is a brand new turf since the last time we've been here, isn't it?
I think they did change that. I'm not sure when they put this in, John. It might have been last year, but you know, Grandview University and Des Moines East use this field, thus the different hash marks out there. People see that, and I wonder why we got two sets of hash marks, so that is a little bit different. But, yeah, it's a beautiful night, the perfect day. I mean, my goodness, beautiful fall day. And, John, let's go to the matchup here before we go to Coach Wilson here. Talk about this Dowling's offense against this Davenport West defense. And now it is kind of an unusual defense. And I talked to Coach Wilson earlier. He kind of compared Davenport West to maybe a team or two that we have seen here in Central Iowa. But your thoughts on the Dowling offense against this West defense?
Yeah, Coach Wilson's referring to is that three-man front. Dowling's running that this year, and a lot of teams here in the metro area run that three-man front. There's a few that still run the 4-3 or 4-4 defense, but you're going to see a lot of balanced attack tonight. I think you're going to see a lot of the running game going. It wouldn't surprise me if the numbers are balanced, meaning you're going to have about the same amount of yards rushing as you will see passing tonight. And I think it's a good night to get Jackson Smollett going, and you'll see a different wrinkles, I'm sure, to now that we're in the playoffs that they kind of waited to this time. And with Rashad Davis and C.J. Phillip in that backfield, I think with that three-man front, you're going to see a lot of running game, which Matt referred to last week. It opens up the passing game, which I think if you could rewind a year ago or so, it was the other way around. And I think you're back to running the football that's setting up that passing game. We've seen it run very well the last 3 to 4 weeks.
And one thing, Giant, to mention, out for Davenport West and talking with their head coach, Brandon Cruzy, Duro Johnson, number 66, defensive lineman, he's third on their team in tackles, out with a wrist injury. And number 24, Caleb English, fifth in tackles. He plays linebacker. They're both out, and they both logged a lot of tackles for their defense. Now they have some players that are going two ways, so be interested to see how Dowling exploits that, especially with the linebacker and a down lineman out tonight.
Say that again, Mark.
Yeah. Tell the newspaper reporter that we're live on the air.
Well, it's Coach Zachary. He's wanting to break down some strategy.
Well, put him on.
Football season's over with, so he helps coach, and he doesn't know what to do anymore since there's no practice or games.
All I was mentioning was they have a down lineman and a linebacker out tonight, John, that are their third and fifth leading tacklers, and that could be something that Dowling will exploit, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you have those holes in the defense, Dowling's good at strategizing, watching film and stuff and knowing these guys are out, how to, like you just said, how to attack them. West plays that coverage too, which is I don't think we've seen a lot of that. So you see a lot of underneath stuff. I think they try to keep everything in front of them. But like you said, when you lose your two best defensive players, that's going to hurt a lot.
That certainly will. All right, Matt Mainring with the Dowling defense against the West offense. Now, their quarterback is outstanding. As you mentioned, Matt, earlier, he's their leading rusher, and, of course, obviously their quarterback, Brady Hansen, 6'1" senior, being recruited by Upper Iowa and D2 and some small D1 schools. So he's very talented, and he's got some speed. And I think Coach Wilson mentioned number 16, Devin Sanders Howard. He wears number 16, and he's an all-purpose kick returns, punt return, and, of course, receiver / he'll run the jet sweep, as we know. And sure. How will that affect Dowling's defense, especially when they have a three-man front?
Right. Well, the thing is with Hansen, he's actually their leading rusher. So he's got 81 carries, 532 yards, 11 touchdowns versus, 73 pass completions for 12 touchdowns. So he's where everything goes through.
Sure.
And so it's and we go back to like the Provenza kid from Valley, a running quarterback, someone you're going to keep in the pocket. And so of the last few games and even last week, it's going to be something that Dowling's seen a little bit. Whether or not they put a spy on him to make sure that he stays in the pocket, that'll be, if that's Jimmy or not, if he's going to be in the middle. And Wanik, I think, was the spy against Valley at times. But it's going to be keeping him in the pocket. And that's the thing. Make him throw the ball from the pocket if they get into pass situations. Their offensive line is made up of all seniors and pretty decent size, 255, 230, 290, 255. Their center's a little bit smaller at 155. So they've got a big line. They've got a senior experience line. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a good battle up front. And, can they keep Hansen contained?
That'll be the question. They come Davenport West. They come in with a record of 7-2. Again, last year they went 1-8. They won their first game, lost 8 in a row. This year they come out and they win their first game against Clinton, and they went 7-2. They lost 2 of their last 3 games. They were shut out by Cedar Rapids Kennedy 44-0, and that's the team that that is playing Waukee Northwest tonight. And they lost 55-6 to City High of Iowa City in Week 8. Last week defeated Muscatine on senior night 35-13 to conclude their season. But it has been quite a turnaround for Coach Cruzy. He's an AP guy. Appleton Parkersburg played for Ed Hansen, as did one of the Dowling coaches, Mr. Andy Pollock, who is the Dowling offensive line coach, and Coach Pollock and him know each other very well. So you have that little bit of connection, but certainly this is as far west as Davenport West has played in many years.
Yeah. Well, you know, Ed Thomas was such an influence on so many young men, and you know, and even for me, you know, growing up as a young coach and getting to talk to him at clinics and stuff like that, you drink whatever he was giving you at that time, and to go through the programs, you know, Coach Cruzy has a foundation of what it takes to win, and to see the turnaround that he's created in a year is really something special, and I'm sure it's created some excitement over there on the river.
Third year that Coach Cruzy's been at Davenport West. Of course, Dowling comes in with a record of 8-1. They lost their first game of the year to Southeast Polk and have won 8 in a row going into Week 10 in the first round of the playoffs. Dowling is the number 1 overall seed on the RPI ratings that come out. That's what the classes 5A, 4A, and 3A use, RPI. And there are teams that didn't make the playoffs that were on the cusp. Davenport West was the last team to get in. Waukee, Urbandale, and Sioux City North finished just outside the 16th seed, and that's how close it came. You know, it's one play, one down, Matt, as you know, and that's that. Those teams are now on the outside looking in.
It's a tough thing when you go back through your season and you just miss getting in, and you go back and you analyze things. Coaches do this all the time. You know, you go back, you lose a state title, you go back and you look at in that last game, what were those plays? I've replayed a couple of those. Anyway, but you go back through and you don't remember scores. I don't remember, you don't remember the wins as what the score was or stuff like that, but you do remember your losses.
Absolutely.
And what those scores were and how they happened.
Yeah. John, you remember those losses, don't you?
Oh, yeah, they haunt me. And Matt's right. I mean, you get up the next day, the next time you play them a year or two, the same team, and you always talk about, that one play, that 2-point conversion, the tie of the game, that still haunts me. That if we would have ran it a different way or we tried to get a timeout. But you're right. You remember those moments. And it's a crazy sport, and it's a game of inches. And that's such a great saying because everything can change in just a moment, and it could go one way or another in those type ball games.
And I think that's what makes the game special.
Oh, absolutely.
It certainly does. Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break, gentlemen, as we're here at the pregame show. Folks that are tuning in, we're at Williams Stadium on Des Moines' east side, home of the East High Scarlets and the Grandview University Vikings, who are ranked in the top 5 in NAIA football. We want to thank J.R. Randall, the athletic director here at Des Moines East. He is out. He just had surgery, so we get the backup, Mr. Lowell Long, and Lowell and I go way back. He's a John Leonetti relative, so we'll treat him with somewhat respect, I think. But good guy, Lowell's here with his staff and getting things rolling. Beautiful scoreboard they just installed this year here at Williams Stadium. On a beautiful night, there's hardly any wind, temperature of 61 degrees. It'll probably be in the 50s during game time, but earlier, I had a chance to catch up with head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic, and congratulations to Coach Wilson. This is his 23rd playoff appearance as a head coach. This is Dowling's 45th appearance in the playoffs, and I think if we've had the playoffs, this is the 50th year of high school football playoffs being organized, and no mythical champion, so this is the 50th year, so hats off to Dowling Catholic and the tradition. But I caught up with Coach Wilson earlier. I want to thank Jennifer Phelps. She is our studio producer for Iowa Catholic Radio tonight. This is Mark Hamadale for Matt Mandring and John Chido, back with more pregame after these messages. It's Dowling Catholic and Davenport West 5A District Playoff Football coming up here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
It is never too early to explore what Dowling Catholic School has to offer. Families and students of all ages are invited to the Dowling Catholic Annual Open House on Sunday, November 6th. Prospective students and their families have the opportunity to learn about Dowling Catholic's academic programs, student life and activities, faith formation, school culture, and athletics. Join Dowling for student-led tours of the campus, a parent panel discussion, and the opportunity to meet the Dowling Catholic faculty and staff. There will be a tuition assistance representative available to answer your questions. Learn more at dowlingcatholic.org. A message from Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and pre- and post-operative care. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
Hi, I'm Father Chris Rising from the Diocese of Des Moines. Thank you for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Mark Amadale now joined by head coach Tom Wilson. Tonight, it's week 10, first round of the high school football playoffs. Dowling hosting Davenport West here at Williams Stadium on Des Moines East Side. Coach, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on the postseason.
Thank you, Mark.
Well, Coach, tonight to get started, the next postseason games, and you get a host two of them. Congratulations on the number one seed. You drew Davenport West, something we talked about last week as a possibility. But more importantly, let's review last week's game with Waukee, a 43-7 win. You got off to a 30-0 lead at halftime, and got a lot of kids in. So congratulations on the win. And as we talked about in the postgame show, this team is peaking and playing at the right time.
Well, it was obviously very good to get the win and jump out to the early lead. And we did a lot of things pretty well. And I thought Waukee helped us out a couple of times with some untimely turnovers for them and good for us. And I thought we were able to capitalize on them offensively, and then adding on the free kick at the end of that first half kind of capped that off.
And we'll talk about that here in a moment, Coach. But Jackson Smolik, 3 touchdown passes, and your rushing was as balanced as your passing game. And look back to week 1 against Southeast Polk, that wasn't the case. But you had like 187 yards passing and 183 yards rushing. That's a pretty balanced attack, no matter how the game got out of hand in the second half. That just shows how much this team has progressed, or maybe some play calling has progressed throughout the year, Coach.
Yeah, well, that's changed a little bit too. They just call the run more, but really the kids have done a really nice job. That's been a big part of our success, and it's the development of the offensive line and really everybody blocking. And Rashad and CJ have really done a good job. And Hunter Crutchlow doesn't get his name called very often, I don't suppose, but he does a lot of the dirty work in there and is really important to what we're doing.
Well, Coach, you mentioned previously you got off to a 30-0 lead at halftime over Waukee, and boy, that final 20 seconds was something else. And thank goodness one of your coaches, a couple of your coaches, and I were talking about this. Somebody had won a game on this free kick, and what it was, a team punted from the end zone, which Waukee did. And your son, believe it or not, fair catched it. I know he didn't want to, but he fair caught the ball. And then after that, the exchange, you let the officials know, hey, we're going to do a free kick, which is worth 3 points. And you put the ball on the tee, and there's no rush, but it's your only down you have, and you got to make it count. And Schumacher drilled a 48-yard field goal with 11 seconds to go in a half. A play you don't see very often. I haven't seen in 40 years in person until last Friday night. Yeah,
it's one of those things it's very rare, and we were talking about it on the headset when we had him pinned down, and then it was kind of a last-minute thing. We told the punt returners to fair catch. And honestly, the kids didn't know what we were doing either. And Rame had been after me to practice this, and we just hadn't gotten to it yet. But he'd worked with the kickers with that situation. And we just told the kids, don't be offsides, run on down like the kickoff. I called timeout just so I could clarify things a little bit. And so we executed it and executed it very well. And even on the sidelines after it happened, a lot of kids didn't know what the heck was going on, but much like the people in the stands. But I'd tried it one other time when I was at Dyke New Hartford, and we missed the dang thing. But they talked about that for a while then as well.
Well, this one went through, and Schumacher got credit for the 3 points. And Coach, you look at the second half, a couple touchdowns. And, I want to mention in this past game, Hank Brown got his first touchdown catch of the year. I know he's kind of been the understudy because you have Nicholson and Bo Gamble have gotten a lot of the touchdowns. And then your senior tight end doesn't get a reception but for a touchdown. He gets a rushing touchdown on the old tight end jet sweep, which we have in the playbook, I guess. And congratulations, Jalen Thompson, and, of course, Hank Brown for their first touchdowns of the year.
I was really, really happy for those kids. And I suppose it was, Council Bluffs AL when, we were trying to make an effort to get the ball to Hank more, get the ball to Trey more. Just, Coop and Bo have had such great years, and Jalen has been able to complement them as well. But those two get more confident, and our offense gets better. And, first Hank, gets his touchdown really on a tremendous throw by Jackson, but also a great catch by Hank. Also ran a really nice route on that play. And, then we get down in the red zone, deep in the red zone, and Jalen's been fighting like crazy to get a touchdown. He's had quite a few catches, just hadn't gotten the end zone. And I thought the best way to do that's with the jet sweep. And so we did that and got his, and happy for those guys, and hopefully we see some more.
Yep, that all happened on Parents' Night last Friday night. This is Mark Amadale along with head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic as we prepare for the first round of the high school Class 5A district playoffs here at Williams Stadium on Des Moines' east side, home of the Grandview University Vikings and Des Moines East. We'll be back after this break, talk more about tonight's opponent, the Davenport West Falcons, here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Whatever happened to the modern world? Hi, this is Cy Kellett, host of Catholic Answers Live. Join me on Saturday, December 10th at the Embassy Suites downtown for Iowa Catholic Radio's Dinner in December. I'll be speaking about what we can do to help recover a modern world fit for people. Plus, enjoy a fabulous meal and fellowship with your Iowa Catholic Radio family. Register today at iowacatholicradio.com, iowacatholicradio.com. And I'll look forward to seeing you on December 10th in downtown Des Moines.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Join the Iowa Catholic Radio family for the celebration of Holy Mass at our Chapel of St. Gabriel the Archangel on the first Friday of every month at 11:30 a.m. The chapel is located at our network studios, 1355 50th Street, Suite 500 in West Des Moines.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio as we prepare for Week 10, the first round of the high school football playoffs here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Davenport West Falcons coming in with a record of 7-2, taking on Dowling Catholic. The Maroons 8-1. Dowling, the number 1 seed, and the Falcons of Davenport West, the 16th seed. And, Coach, as we discussed a little bit last week, I don't know if it was on or off the record, but Davenport West, the team that you kind of thought might be in the mix for that 16th team. Sure enough, they're here. They had a tremendous year. And last year, they were 1-8, and then they come out and they won like their first 6 games, and now they went 1-2, I believe, since the end of the year. It's tough. Their season got a little bit tougher, but this is a team with quite a turnaround, and they got to be excited taking on the number 1 seed and coming to Central Iowa tonight.
Yeah, they had a very good year, and going 7-2. I think it's the first time since 1999 that they'd qualified for the postseason. So obviously they've had a great turnaround and done a really nice job. And it's not very often that you get a 7-2 team that is the 16 seed, but it's the RPI and those types of things. And they've got some good athletes, and it's a game that obviously we're looking forward to. And you don't have much room for error when you get into the final 16. So we've got to play well.
Well, Coach, I know they have a senior quarterback in Brady Hansen. He'll wear number 12, but he's got maybe one running back with several receivers. So the first question is going to be, who do they remind you of that you have already played, or teams around here, when you see the Falcons and their offense come in?
Yeah, it's a little bit different. Maybe at Waukee Northwest, just the quarterback run game quite a bit. Nice running back. They're going to throw the ball. They just percentage-wise haven't had a ton of success from a completion percentage standpoint, but the quarterback's a nice athlete, plays safety part of the time. They'll move him in and out of there. Number 16, is a corner and a wide receiver, and really what he is a really good return guy, and so he's somebody that we certainly have to pay attention to. Nice player, and defensively, they're going to play a 3-3, and we've seen a lot of odd fronts this year, odd man fronts. Haven't seen a 3-3 stack is what we call it. So there's a few adjustments with that, and they're going to be bringing a lot of pressure and moving their front quite a bit.
Well, you kind of went into my next question, the defense, but let's talk about number 16. His name is Devin Sanders Howard. He has 6 interceptions, one of the top defenders and interception leaders in Class 5A. And I'm sure you've seen him on field, but that's got to be an issue. I know Jackson Smolik, the Dowling quarterback, might be thinking, okay, where's 16 at, or who is he defending, if he's defending anybody one-on-one. So that certainly gets your attention.
Oh, it does. I think he's a really nice player. And as I mentioned, him in the return game is pretty impressive. I think he averages like 37 yards of kickoff return and has a couple of them for touchdowns and over 20 yards a punt return. So he's a good athlete, and Jackson's well aware of where he's going to be. And we have a lot of confidence in our receivers, but all things being equal, let's throw the other side of that guy.
Well, Coach, the matchup tonight, obviously your team's prepared. Everybody's ready for Week 10. You prepare 9 weeks to get to this spot. You're also the number 1 seed, and I think that's a credit not only to you and your coaching staff, but also the kids to earn that number 1 seed. And yes, there's a team out there who's now the 4th seed, Pleasant Valley, who's undefeated, but yet didn't earn that number 1 seed due to the RPI, as you mentioned earlier. Yeah,
it's a little bit crazy as you get 3 of us in Central Iowa at 8-1, and Southeast Polk had the tiebreaker over us, but Ankeny had the tiebreaker over Southeast Polk, and we had it over Ankeny. So as long as we stayed 1, 2, and 3, we were going to be the 1 seed. Just because of RPI, and it worked out that way. And Pleasant Valley is the 4th seed, and they draw Valley right out of the chute, and I'm sure they're not extremely thrilled with that. But PV is a good football team, and they've got a really good coaching staff, and so it's going to be interesting as things start to transpire as we get into these playoffs.
Coach, appreciate your time. Best of luck tonight. We look to catch up to you at halftime and during the postgame show. Best of luck in the first round against Davenport West.
All right, thank you.
Head coach Tom Wilson has been my guest here on pregame show, Dowling Catholic head football coach. Dowling and Davenport West. Coming up, Matt Maindring, John Schott will rejoin the broadcast. This is Mark Hamadale, and you're listening to the pregame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment, whether it's in the classroom or at home. Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
This is Deacon Roger Poult from St. Francis of Assisi Parish in Marshalltown. Thanks for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
And we're back here at Duke Williams Stadium on Des Moines' east side. It's playoff high school football. The big schools, Class 5A. Dowling hosting Davenport West. Mark Amadale alongside Matt Maindring and John Chido. Johnny's down on the Dowling sideline right in front of us as the Maroons are on the home side here on the west bleachers of Duke Williams Stadium. And, of course, the visitors from Davenport West, about a 3-hour bus ride, 2.5 if you can make it on the interstate today. Not a bad following, not a large following, but this is the first time they've been in the playoffs, so they're gradually building that tradition. But nonetheless, the winner of this game will meet the winner of the Waukee Northwest at Cedar Rapids Kennedy game. We'll try to keep you updated throughout the night. And Matt, it's playoff football. It's hard to believe we're 11 weeks.
Yeah,
it started back in the end of August.
We were talking about the game at Southeast Polk, and that seems like a long, long time ago. And right. And it really is for how this team has matured and how they played in that first game. Does not resemble how they're playing now, and it's the other thing that I was thinking about as we're looking at this is looking at the roster and how injury-free the team is. And, I'd say Leifker outside of his boot now, and he's out walking around. I know he's hopeful to get in here before the postseason ends. And we get just it's a great night for football again.
Certainly is, and
you
the guy that's going to enjoy it more than we because he's outside the press box. That's John Chido. Johnny?
Yeah, this is a good time to be outside. For any football game all year, this has been the best weather we've had. No wind, perfect temperatures, and it's fall. The leaves are turning, and it's playoff football.
So you ran into Doc Zachary while we were interviewing. We're talking with you. He didn't know we were on the air, obviously, but did he give you a new play to run or something?
He just said that he is so bored sitting at home that, and he's a doctor, so he's busy all day. But him and Skiggs have to have something going on all the time.
His motor doesn't stop, does it?
No, they have. He has way too much energy.
Yeah.
But that's great. I need that.
Yes, you do.
He's an amazing guy.
Right.
Yes, he is.
We want to take a look right now. When we take a moment, our game officials, Craig Van Vark is our official referee, Kyle Ward, T.J. Augustine, Todd Rorda, and Carter Tryon are our officials tonight. And let's introduce the chain gang. We even got a list for them. John Balducci's back. They got him out of retirement.
There we go.
Kevin Gass, Frank Chido, Kevin Morris, and Darren Marasco. John, you know any of those guys?
I do, and I always like to see when balls go out of bounds over on that sideline with the chain gang, because there's a couple that I wouldn't mind seeing, that get woken up a little bit because, talk about energy. They need that energy over there. It's good to have Balducci back.
Yes, it is. John makes an emergency comeback. I don't think his wife Judy was appreciative of that, but that's just me saying that. Let's take a look at the, as you mentioned, Matt Dowling healthy tonight. The starters are back in place. We'll start with the Dowling offense. Max Shelton at center. The guards, Cade Batterton and Nate Agos. The tackles are George Nahas and Kyle Rockers. Dowling's tight ends are Jalen Thompson and Danny Nielsen. And how about the utility guys? Hunter Crutchlow and Ben Hoover. They're doing all the dirty work.
Yeah.
And, of course, the quarterback is Jackson Smolik. He's thrown for 17 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, over 1,600 yards passing. And, of course, Cooper Nicholson, Hank Brown, Bo Gamble, and Michael Reichart, the receivers, and the running backs, C.J. Phillip and Rashad Davis. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will have the kickoff between Davenport West and Dowling Catholic. We'll get the defensive starters for Dowling introduced along with the Davenport West personnel. But first, a word from Father Reed Flood in our pregame prayer, and a word from Dr. Dan Ryan, the president of Dowling Catholic High School. And kickoff coming up, Dowling and Davenport West, here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
It can be easy to look at how someone is dressing or acting and judge them. But have you ever thought about how much grace is available in these situations? The next time someone makes a questionable decision, instead of judging and condemning, uphold their dignity for them. We do greater good by lifting them up in prayer and respecting their personhood than if we mentally tear them apart in our thoughts. We can uphold the dignity of others even when they are unable to recognize their own value.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Ryan, president of Dowling Catholic High School. Welcome to another season of exciting Dowling High School football. We are proud to be partners with Iowa Catholic Radio, not only broadcasting football, but also being partners in preparing Christ-centered leaders for life. Go Maroons.
Hello, my name is Father Reed Flood. Let us pray together for the coaches, players, and trainers for this athletic competition this evening. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all your gifts. We ask that you bless all those involved in this athletic competition this evening. We ask that you keep them safe and that they show good sportsmanship. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Saint Sebastian, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
And we're back here at Duke Williams Stadium. The kickoff by Dowling Catholic. The Maroons kick off and return by Jaden Metter for Davenport West, and they have a first down at their own 22-yard line. Dowling defending the south end zone. They'll be going right to left towards the north end zone in their home maroon uniforms with white numbers and pants. And Davenport West, an inside handoff that goes to their tailback, and that is Tucker Davis, and he gets across the 25 up to the 26-yard line for a gain of 4.
Nice run on first down for the Falcons as they ran off tackle on the left side of the line. and right behind Brett Haynes and Drew Westfall. And nice little run there for Avis of about 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah,
4 yards.
Brady Hansen's the Davenport West quarterback for the Falcons, 6'1", 200-pound senior. Tucker Avis, tailback, 5'8", 175-pound senior. Now they line up with a second down play. 2 receivers left, a running play to Avis again, and he stacked up the line of scrimmage. May have lost a yard back to the 25. He did, and I'll bring up third down and about 7 for the Falcons. Let's continue their offensive personnel. Dalton Thompson's one receiver, number 5. Devin Sanders Howard, number 16. He is our all-purpose receiver and kick returner. Number 81 is Mitch Irvin, another receiver, and Landon Wright is our tight end, number 22. Those are the receivers. Brett Haynes, as you mentioned earlier, Matt, the left tackle. Drew Westfall, the left guard. The center is Evan Budian. Jalen Green's the right guard, and now back to throw is quarterback Hansen. He fires left side, and the pass is complete for a first down, just outside the chains, and a nice reception over there by Keeney.
The play there was just a simple out pattern right at the marker, actually about 2 yards short, and he was able to break the first tackle and squirt ahead for a couple more yards right on the out of bounds line, and gets the first down for the Falcons.
Up to the 33, a 7-yard reception that time by Mitch Irwin, they said. Mitch Irwin was the receiver. So the West with the first down, they took the opening kickoff, and now they have 3 receivers to the right. Tailback goes left to right in motion. The quarterback draw, and this time nowhere. Brady Hansen, quarterback draw. He tried to sell the handoff to his tailback, Avis, and that went nowhere, and he was surrounded and swallowed up by that Dowling defensive line.
He was swallowed up in a hurry, and it looked like Hikus was the one right back there and made the play right as the ball was snapped. He was in the backfield right away, and no fake was going to take him away from Hansen on that play, and gets the loss.
Loss of 3. It'll bring up second down and 13 for Davenport West. The Falcons, 2 receivers left, 2 to the right, 1 back in the backfield with quarterback Hansen. Hansen back to throw. Rolls to his right, still rolling, now being chased, and he just throws it away to the Dowling sideline. Incomplete.
And, like we thought before the game, Jimmy Wanik was there shadowing him and came off the running back that had come out of the backfield on the right side of the field, and as Hansen continued to roll out, Wanik left coverage and went and put pressure on him to get the forced throw.
And forced the throw. Up front for Dowling, Carson Hagan, Ralston Rumley, and Cody Hikus, the 3 down linemen. Linebackers, Braden Pearson, Joe Hughes, Jimmy Wanik, Dylan Manning, and Matt Hanton. Cornerbacks are Jake Anderson and Jared Rickey for Dowling. The free safety is Justice Williams. And now here's Hansen again. He's swallowed up again at the 30-yard line. Back to the line of scrimmage he goes, and it's 4th and long for Davenport West. So the Maroons give up a first down on defense, but then the second series, Dowling was all over the offensive line.
He wasn't getting, Hansen wasn't getting out of the grasp of Carson Hagan right there, as Carson Hagan swallowed him up right as he stepped up. He had pretty good pocket there for a moment and stepped up in, and Hagan's waiting for him for the sack.
All right, back deep for Dowling to return the punt will be Trey Wilson, number 15, and Cooper Nicholson, number 8. Doing the punting for Davenport West is Branson Heath.
They're going to call a timeout. They had a personnel issue, and they're going to have to call a timeout.
Well, we'll keep it here with 8:13 remaining first quarter. Davenport West forced the punt on their own 30-yard line. Mark Amadeo, Matt Manning. Let's go down to John Chido in the middle of this drive. Johnny's he's watching the drive come to him down there by the 15-yard line on the sideline. Your thoughts down there, Johnny? The West had a nice execution for that 3rd and long play to get the first down.
Yeah, they did, and that was a great job by the receiver to reach out and get to the chains and move it to another set of downs. But if you guys notice, the West is coming out with different looks. They had 2x2, 3x1, and then they went empty when they motioned the back out of the backfield. So they're doing a lot of different looks, and the Dowling defenders have adjusted well to it. And going back what Matt said, that defensive line kept the quarterback for West in the pocket, and there was nowhere to go when the pocket collapsed, and then Carson Hagan was able to make that sack.
All right, John, thanks for that update. Appreciate that. Is Branson Heath, number 13, is the punter, averaged about 22.5 yards a punt this year. So if that's the case, look where Dowling's safeties are here in Wilson and Nicholson. They're expecting a short punt from this punter as we're waiting the snap.
A lot of speed back there with Cooper Nicholson and Trey Wilson, and it's always kind of interesting to see how they are, what do I want to say, aggressive. That might be the key word here. Both of those young men have a lot of confidence once they catch the football.
And, of course, Trey Wilson had a fair catch that ball, which I think he was giving his dad the eye. It's like, what? When Dowling had the free kick for 3 points at the end of the first half against Waukee last week.
A lot of talk about that play after the game yet.
Good.
Yeah.
Good, but you knew where that was all about.
Yeah.
There were others that did not, and now we're waiting on our official to get things going. Johnny, you know what the delay is with the officials right now?
I don't. They're just kind of all standing there, and I don't know if it's a clock issue or what, because they're looking up at the press box, and I think they're waiting for something to get reset. And, yeah, it is a press box issue.
Okay, because there's 20 seconds left on the play clock. Thank you, John. And now the sideline official in front of us, the head linesman, is communicating with the Dowling coaches, and now there's something going on next door to us that we are not available to see.
And after a little bit, they'll just say to heck with it, and the officials will keep the time.
So. We're going to take a break as they call both teams to the sidelines. 8:08 left to go first quarter. No score. Dowling and Davenport West, first-round coverage of the Class 5A District Playoffs here on Iowa Catholic Radio. We'll take a break and be back.
This is Matt Wilkham, Executive Director for Iowa Catholic Radio. Thank you so much for your support during our fall fundraiser. Because of you, the people and programs you love will continue to be heard throughout Iowa and beyond. If you didn't get a chance to give, there's still time to become an Iowa Catholic Radio family member and receive your thank you gift, a digital or hard copy of the booklet 20 Answers, the Eucharist. Plus, matching dollars are still available. Donate now at iowacatholicradio.com. And again, thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
Hi, I'm Lirio from Holy Trinity Parish in Des Moines. Thanks for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
And we're back here at Williams Stadium. No score. Dowling and Davenport West still having an issue with something to do with the clock. And I know they've got personnel. Jared Herring's involved. Johnny, Matt Maindring went next door to kind of help out with the situation. So it's just you and I, as it's Dowling and Davenport West. We should mention our sponsors tonight. They include Skeffington's Formal Wear, Catholic Tuition Organization, Mercy One, Dental Associates, Construction Professionals, and Ashworth Vision Clinic. So unusual delay here in the first half, John Chado.
Yeah, I would imagine the clock gets stalled. They can't get it to going or reset it or anything because it's kind of stagnant.
Well, they said it's glitching on and off, so it's resetting when it shouldn't be. So so it's a technical issue. They got some people working on it. I imagine we'll wait here just a little bit. Otherwise, the officials are equipped to keep the clock on the field. So.
Hey, Johnny, I know you're not on the far sideline where the chain gang is, but there's an IT guy or two over there that may know a little bit about this. I know they help us out during the day. What do you think?
Well, you just know how to get my blood going, don't you? That's good stuff.
Well, we're trying to entertain our listeners because there's no game right now. Everybody's kind of at the sidelines, so I'm just trying to fill some time.
We do have some time to talk about open house.
Okay, we'll do that.
A week from we'll take Johnny off the hook.
Thank you.
Johnny wasn't bowling today, I don't think.
No, he wasn't. I don't think that happened.
So we won't talk about that. But, hey, open house next week, Sunday, and a great opportunity for those that are considering Dowling Catholic as the high school that they want to come to. It's a great time to go through our building, meet our staff, faculty, and get a flavor of what it means to become a Maroon. And it's a great morning. And you just get a lot of opportunities to meet a lot of people.
And, yeah, that's coming up 1 week from this Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm looking for that information right now. But, it's going to be at Dowling Catholic High School, and I know, Matt, you'll be a big part of that. and look forward to that. Also want to remind folks the fall play is going on right now.
Yep.
And that's in production.
As we speak.
Yes. Tonight there's a performance. Dowling Catholic Performing Arts Department presents Thornton Wilder's Our Town. And there's performances tomorrow on Saturday at 2 o'clock and 7:30, all in the Dowling Auditorium. Matter of fact, that's the last two performances that are going on tomorrow. So
they are trying to reset the clock. The officials are going to keep it on the field. The scoreboard is blank right now.
Oh, boy.
And as they reset things, and here's the snap and the punt.
Okay, and here we go. A line drive, and they punt it towards Trey Wilson. He picks up the 38, and now punt return left.
He's going to have an alley if he gets to the corner.
He's got to turn the corner without a clip being dealt, and now he's kind of zigs and zagged at midfield. Down the near sideline he goes. He's finally wrestled down at the Davenport West 42-yard line. Nice return by Trey Wilson for Dowling, and I don't see any laundry out there. So first down.
Close on this side. Trey just ran about 35 yards to get 10 or 15, and he almost got the corner, and there was almost enough blocking there. And the young man is very, very fast, and so he was almost able to get there.
Yeah, they got the clock still running. So we know the clock on the field is not right. They got it running now. And it's a first down Dowling. Maroon offense out there from the 42-yard line of Davenport West. Jackson Smolik's the quarterback. Read option. Handoff goes to C.J. Phillip. Turns the corner. He's hit and drop right about the 35. Make it the 36-yard line. A gain of 6.
Gain of 6. Nice strong run as he runs over that left side towards Kyle Rockers and makes a nice turn up the field and a good tackle for the Falcons by number 55, Landon Pillard. And so they get to stop. Maroons 2nd and 4. Or 2nd and 5. It looks like 2nd and 4. I got to remember I can't trust the scoreboard right now.
Well, I don't think you can trust the clock. Back to throw. Smolik looks near side. The pass is caught. That's Phillip. Right at the line of scrimmage. They're going to give him forward progress, but he'll lose a yard back to the 37-yard line at Davenport West. It'll bring up third down and about 5.
Number 3, Marvin Neely, who is one of their leading defenders from that inside linebacker position, was able to get out there and stop that quick screen right away. C.J. Phillip didn't have much of a chance there once he caught that football.
All right, 2 receivers to the right for Dowling Catholic. They go right to left, south to north here at Duke Williams Stadium. Here's this handoff. Handoff C.J. Phillip over the right side between guard and tackle, and he picks up the first down to the 30-yard line. That'll be a gain of 7, and I'll tell you what, it opened up over there. Nate Agos, George Nahas, the right guard and tackle respectively, along with center Max Shelton doing the dirty work.
Great explosion off the football for that offensive line, created a crease there for C.J. Phillip, and he shot through there, and he's been running his last 4 football games, he has improved so much in the start of the season.
Bunch formation, no receivers. Back to throw with Smolik. Rolls to his right. He's got Thompson open, and he fires it further downfield. It's incomplete. Try to hit Cooper Nicholson inside the 15-yard line. So he had 2 receivers, a drag route with Thompson, the tight end, and then Cooper running the longer route.
Yeah, a little bit of a bootleg action where Jalen is in there holding for a second and then releases out in the flats, and Cooper Nicholson's at the second level. And then I believe it was Bo Gamble over the top was in the end zone, and Davenport West had covered it well.
Again, Dowling was in a bunch formation. Nobody outside the tackles. Now they put Bo Gamble and Nicholson split out wide to the right. And the fullback for Dowling is over the right tackle, and now a handoff up the gut to C.J. Phillip, and he gets down to the 25-yard line to pick up a 5 and bring up 3rd and 5 for Dowling.
3rd and 5, and right now the Maroons are able to get some chunk yardage, 5 yards every pop. C.J. Phillip comes off with a little bit of a hobble there after that. He was taken down a little bit awkwardly at the end of that play, and he's a tough young man, and he'll walk that off, and so Rashad Davis onto the field.
All right, Dowling with 2 tight ends, 2 receivers to the left, and Rashad Davis, you mentioned the backfield. Jackson Smolik out of the shotgun, and they give it to Rashad looking for a hole. He's got one inside the 15 and finally brought down there, but not after picking up a first down. Rashad Davis, a 10-yard gain.
And it's you bring a different running back in, and they have different skill sets, and Rashad is about getting downhill in a hurry, and he's got an explosive first step. Exploded into that line in between between Shelton and Batterton in the A gap, and explodes for about 6-7 yards.
They got a pistol formation here with Matt Moore, the tailback. He goes in motion. Rashad Davis gets the handoff right side. He's got a hole, right guard, right tackle, inside the 5, and he spins out of it and gets down to the 4-yard line. It'll be first and goal Dowling, 11-yard run for Rashad. And that time they took the backup running back, the third running back, and moved Moore out as a receiver.
Dowling
Jack
goes
Moore.
hurry up, and they're going to get, Davenport's going to call a timeout because they couldn't get their guys off the field. They ran people in.
That'll be their second timeout. We'll take one with them. 5:35 left to go, first quarter. No score. Dowling and Davenport West here at Duke Williams Stadium. Back in 1 minute on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment. Whether it's in the classroom or at home, Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by CTO. Your support has helped thousands of students attend our Catholic schools. CTOiowa.org. At CTO, the bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Enhance your prayer life, one song at a time. Enjoy sacred music wherever and whenever you want. Available now at iowacatholicradio.com, your Alexa device, or download the Iowa Catholic Radio mobile app from Google Play or the App Store.
All right, we're back here at Duke Williams Stadium. Scoreboard now back on. 8:10 to go first quarter. We've had some issues with that. And Dowling a third and first and goal at the 4-yard line, as we've had problems with the scoreboard here at Duke Williams Stadium. Hopefully they're getting that attended to, but Maroons with the first and goal. And Rashad Davis in the backfield, 2 receivers to the right. The handoff goes to Rashad Davis, bounces outside, trying for the far pylon, and he gets in for the touchdown. 4 yards out, Rashad Davis. Wasn't open over the right guard and tackle. That's where he wanted to go, but he bounced it outside, used the speed, and Dowling now scores first, as the Maroons go 8 plays and 42 yards, capped off by a Rashad Davis touchdown.
And Mark, you make a great point there. That play was designed to go up the middle, and Rashad, knowing his speed, was able to take that and bounce it outside and continue that until he got to the pylon for the touchdown.
Now the extra point by Schumacher, and it is up and good. 7-0 Dowling. 8:08 left to go first quarter. We'll return to Duke Williams Stadium after these messages here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
This is a Young Catholic Minute.
Hey man, don't impose your beliefs on me.
Whoa, hang on a second. If you really believe that people shouldn't impose their beliefs on others, then why are you imposing that belief on me? Like it or not, there are times when the right thing to do is imposing your belief on others. What if policemen didn't like imposing their belief that stealing was wrong on burglars? What if you told your dentist not to impose his belief that you needed a tooth pulled on you? There would be chaos. Sure, nobody likes to be told what to do, but sometimes we have to trust those who know better, like dentists and God. And if we don't understand something that God is trying to tell us, then instead of rejecting it immediately, we should search for the truth. If we do that instead of refusing to listen, we will discover God's plan for us, even if it's hard to understand at first. For more Young Catholic Minutes, go to youtube.com/youngcatholic.
And we're back here at Williams Stadium on Des Moines' east side. Schumacher kicks it away, and it's picked up by Davenport West, the 4-yard line, and the return is on, and hit and dropped immediately is Jaden Metter, who picked it up. He probably should have let it go in the end zone, but he picked it up, and he's tackled inside the 15-yard line, and that's where West will start, 1st and 10. Let's go down to John Chida with Dowling leading 7-0 after the Maroons go 8 plays, 42 yards on the nice punt return, John, by Trey Wilson.
Yeah, the great field position to start that drive, and Rashad Davis with his cutback ability to go a gap and then cut it outside, and with that burst of speed was truly fun to watch.
All right, thank you, John. 1st and 10. West from their own 15-yard line. Inside handoff goes to their tailback. And he gets about a couple yards. That's Tucker Avis. And he gets a yard up to the 16 there, Matt.
Yeah, Tucker Avis met Jimmy Wanick in the hole, and Jimmy Wanick won that battle as he bounced backwards. So Jimmy Wanick, he's not a very big linebacker, but he packs a punch. When he gets in there, he's going to lay the hit.
They're physical.
Yeah,
the Dowling linebackers, and we've can't say that enough. Here it's 2nd down and 9, and now the read option. They give it to Avis again, and he's hit and dropped again. This time he will lose yardage. Back to the 12-yard line, a loss of 4. Going to bring up 3rd and about 13 at least.
Joe Hughes flew through, and it almost looked like a designed blitz as fast as Joe got through there, and he was able to get the tackle in the backfield for a tackle for loss, and the Maroons have the Falcons marching backwards.
Jimmy Wanick leads Dowling in tackles. He's first with 45 tackles coming in. And then I think second is Jake Anderson, the left corner. He's got 30 tackles, followed by Matt Hatton. He's third with 28 tackles coming in. Dylan Manning, fourth with 27 tackles. So linebackers and a corner lead the team. 3rd and long, back to throw, as the West quarterback will decides to run it. Nice job by Brady Hansen, and he gets it up near and gets a first down. He crosses the 25. They're going to spot him down right at the 28-yard line for a first down.
And Brady Hansen, he's a great athlete, and it showed right there that Dowling got a little lazy, got a little too aggressive, and the pocket and the rush ran past him. And as Brady stepped forward, the field's wide open as the coverage is off him, and he explodes forward for a first down.
16-yard run for the quarterback for Davenport West. Brady Hansen picks up the first down. They'll go with 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. As they go left to right, and the handoff goes to Avis, the tailback, and he runs right into the Dowling wall there as he tried to turn the corner, and meeting him head on was Braden Pearson.
Braden Pearson read that play well, as it's a little bit of a read option, and Avis comes around the corner, and Pearson meets him right away for the loss.
Loss of 2. It'll bring up 2nd and 12 for Davenport West. We mentioned their offensive line: Brett Haynes, Drew Westfall. The center is Evan Badian. Jalen Green, who Grandview University is recruiting. He is a right guard, number 54, 6'2", 290. And Lee Jensen, the right tackle, 6'3", 255. So if they're going to run, they're going to run right.
Yeah.
That's where they have their experience. And back to throw is Hansen. Fires the ball downfield, and the pass is caught at the Dowling 40-yard line. Outstanding grab that time by Dalton Thompson.
Ian Kinney, number 9.
You're right. It is number 9 who came off.
Yeah.
Ian Kinney, the 5'7", 155-pound junior, did a jump ball there. It's a first down West at the Dowling 40.
The coverage was stride for stride with him as he went down the field, but Ian Kinney goes up and makes a great grab on a throw where Brady Hansen was getting rushed, and he just chucked it down the field on the right sideline, and Ian Kinney was able to corral it for a big gain for the Falcons.
34-yard reception, first down Davenport West at the Dowling 40. Now they fake the jet sweep, and then the quarterback Hansen keeps it, and he goes downfield under about the 35-yard line, right over center for a gain of 5.
Tackle by Justice Williams as he comes up from his safety position to make the tackle. And right now, Davenport West has found a little life, and they're moving the ball there. A 5-yard gain there for the Falcons again.
Hansen a gain of 5, and it was all on that catch by Kinney. Ian Kinney, one of the receivers that they implore. Now they send out 5 receivers, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. The tight end is in the slot, and that is Landon Wright, the 6', 205-pound senior. And now back to throw as Hansen looks left, throws right, pass is caught. Once again, Kinney, and he's hit and dropped. They're going to give him forward progress inside the 30.
Kinney runs a stop route right on the sticks, and Brady Hansen finds him. The ball's delivered at the right time, and he gets hit immediately. Kinney does, but enough for the first down.
7-yard gain, and you're right, Matt. A first down for Davenport West. So after picking up a first down in their first series and forcing the punt on their second set of downs, they now are moving from their own 15 all the way down to the Dowling 28. 1st and 10 West. And now penalty flag out as the Dowling nose tackle made contact with the with the center, and that'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Maroons, apparently.
It would look that way.
Offside Dowling.
Yes.
We mentioned our officials earlier. That's Craig Van Vark. He is our white hat. And the lead referee, Kyle Ward, TJ Augustine, Todd Rorda, and Carter Tryon. Congratulations to that crew for making the postseason. That brings up first and 5 for Davenport West. Ball in the Dowling 23. The give is to the tailback, and he found some room right over center, and he's got the first down inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Gain of 9.
Right now, Davenport has got some confidence, and they're moving down the field. Davis shot right through the A-gap on the right side of their line and gets a nice run for a first down, gets the 5 yards, gets the first down, and here they are in the red zone at the 14-yard line.
9-yard run, as you mentioned, Matt. First down, Davenport West. They're at the Dowling 14-yard line. Dowling 7, Davenport West nothing. We're not sure of the time because they have zeros on the scoreboard. Officials are keeping that. Now Hansen on play action fakes the handoff. Now being chased. He's hit once. Deflects off that. Gets all the way down to the 10-yard line. Great individual effort by Hansen. Faked the run. It looked like he was hit back inside the 10, and now he falls in the 10 for a gain of 4.
He did, and he stepped up in the pocket. And again, he is where their offense runs through generally. And he stepped up in the pocket, bounced off 2 tacklers, like you said, Mark, and then finally gets drugged down at the 10-yard line. Right now, the defense looks a little undisciplined as they're coming down the field, and Davenport West is getting some chunk yardage.
Well, they're running those 5 receiver sets, similar to what Dowling runs. 3 receivers right, Hansen back to throw, looks left, throws left, pass is caught at the 5, angling for the end zone. He loses out of bounds as he dove for the pylon. They say he went out of bounds at the 3 for a gain of 7.
And down in here is where it's going to be, a little more of a challenge for Davenport to move the football inside that 5-yard line as this defense tightens up. But again, right now Davenport West is getting 5 yards a pop, and I believe Dowling is going to call a timeout.
And the Maroons do. So we'll take a break. Dowling leads 7-0. Not sure about the time because unless this is the end of the first quarter, we're not sure.
Yeah, it might be the end of the quarter too.
Scoreboard is not working. We'll take a break. 1-minute break here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Has anyone ever told you to pray about it and left you thinking, okay, but how? First, invite the Holy Spirit to be with you as you talk to God. Think about what is going on in your heart and mind. Be honest. Acknowledge to God what you're thinking, feeling, and desiring, because He wants you, the real you. Then, tell Him about what you're experiencing and entrust that to Him. Finally, let the Father love us. Ask yourself, how is God loving me right now? He is loving always. Sometimes we need to stop and think of our blessings, because that is where we can find God.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and pre- and post-operative care. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
Hi, this is Father Ken Helber from the Diocese of Des Moines. Thank you for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
Seven to nothing Dowling as we go to the second quarter, and let's go down to John Scheidel for an update. Johnny, in the middle of this drive.
Yeah, Davenport West has a great drive going, and credit West's quarterback Brady Hansen breaking the pocket. Dowling's getting a little too aggressive on defense and allowed Brady Hansen, the quarterback, to be elusive and run some little draw plays to kind of settle that defense down, and now they're in great situation here.
All right, here is Hansen, quarterback sneak from the 3-yard line, and he's down right at the 2, so we'll bring up second down from there. Second and we'll call it goal from the 2-yard line as they unpile.
Got about a yard on that quarterback sneak as it's one of those things where you're going against strength here. The offensive line of Davenport West is a strong unit, and they're going right into the heart of that Dowling defense. And so, again, Brady Hansen is where it wants to run through.
12th play of this Davenport West drive that started back on their own 15-yard line. Hansen now goes under center, quarterback sneak, and he's hit. Now penalty flag's down. He might have some emotion against West. He gets down to the 1, but we'll see what the referees say. Now, the referee's mic tonight is not working, and it's motion, against Davenport West, and that'll spot him back 5 yards from the line of scrimmage, which was the 2, so it'll bring it back to the 7 there, Matt.
The one thing about this, what's happening right now for Davenport West is they are shortening the game. This drive, Dowling's only had one offensive series in that first quarter, and it's really made the game shorter. And so now we're already into the second quarter. Dowling's had one offensive series. Davenport on this long drive has chewing up a lot of clock.
All right, Jaden Metter, number 11, as a receiver to the far side, to the right. Kelton Youngberg, also receiver. Now the third one is the tight end, number 22, Landon Wright. Hansen's a quarterback, and he sends a man in motion. Low snap, ball is loose. Hansen picks it up, and he's down back at the 14-yard line, maybe the 15. They'll put it at the 14, so a loss in a play after a bad snap, a la Waukee a week ago where the Maroons came out favorable there.
Great point, Mark, is, Waukee struggled to not give themselves some self-inflicted wounds, and right there Davenport West was trying to run a jet sweep option-type play, and the ball gets trickled back to the quarterback, which made it a tough play for Hansen to operate out of.
So that'll bring up 3rd and goal, Davenport West. The ball on the Dowling 14-yard line. West going right to left towards the north end zone. They're wearing their visiting white uniforms, white helmets, black pants. Here's the snap. Hansen looks left, wants to throw left, fires into the end zone. He threw it off the end of the end zone, incomplete. Threw it out of bounds. The Dowling safety was back there along with the corner, and a penalty flag down at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, holding against Davenport West, so that'll back them up a little bit more.
I think Coach Wilson's going to decline it.
Yep, they'll decline it. What is the down? It is fourth down.
It'll be 4th down. That's why he declined it.
Okay, so it's 4th down from the 15-yard line. We'll see what kind of field goal unit.
Well,
how their kicker is here as they send the field goal unit onto the team, which should be about a 30. Let's see where they put the marker.
So it's Branson Heath is their all-purpose kicker. He's going to put it down at the 20, so it'll be a 30-yard field goal, and this would be his first attempt for the season on a field goal. He is 0 for 1 in field goals. Ball down, kick is up. It's partially blocked. It's no good. It bounces in the end zone and goes through the bounces to the back of the end zone. The Maroons hold, leading 7-0. And I'll tell you what, Davenport West found a way to move the football.
Yeah.
Let's go down to John Chido. Johnny, what's your perspective down there? Because West moved the ball from their own 14 all the way down to the Dowling 2-yard line.
Well, they had everything clicking, and Dowling, like I said, they're being very aggressive defensively, and Brady Hansen broke the pocket, made some nice throws, but then they get down in the red zone, and the false start penalty was the backs taking a step too early to try to push the quarterback who was under center for a quarterback sneak, and then when you have a motion play with the center exchange snap, it's a different type of snap, and the timing's different, and the ball just didn't get off the ground.
All right, Dowling with the first down at their own 20-yard line. In high school football, we saw that last week. Missed field goal, goes right to the 20. Smolik on a low snap picks it up, fires the ball downfield, looking for Bo Gamble, and he has it, and it is incomplete.
Yeah.
He had it, almost caught it on the deflection as it bounced off his hands, and then he couldn't corral it at the 35-yard line of Davenport West.
And Bo Gamble had run along. Oh, we got a penalty on the field here. Let's see.
It's the legal man downfield.
Legal man downfield. Jackson was rolling out for a long time and had all kinds of time to go in, and by that time, a lineman had crawled down the field too far.
He bought a lot of time, though.
He did.
That sometimes those offensive linemen think they want to move downfield, so it'll bring up.
Quickly, I've got a couple scores,
go
Mark.
ahead, Matt.
In the second quarter, Valley and Pleasant Valley are tied at 3. In the second quarter, Ankeny, Centennial, and Cedar Falls are tied at 7. No score out of Waukee Northwest at this time.
So
0-0 yet.
Ball moved back to the 15-yard line on the penalty. So the Maroons will have a 1st and 15. 2 receivers to the right. Dowling going left to right. North to south here at Duke Williams Stadium. The handoff goes to tailback, and that is, I believe, Rashad Davis. And he gets across the 20 up to about the 22-yard line, so he'll pick up 7. And it'll bring up 2nd down and about 8.
Get the penalty yardage back, plus a little bit more. As again, it was a play designed to go inside, and Rashad bounced it to the outside. And hopefully he keeps running it downhill a little bit. Saw a little little more dance there probably than even coach would want to see out of Rashad, even though he's got the moves.
I'll give him 6. 2nd and 8. Nicholson goes in motion. 2 receivers now to the left. Now make it 3 with Nicholson stopping in the slot. 2 tight ends, and the handoff goes to Rashad, left side. He's got the first down and more across the 40. Still has on his feet, and he finally wrestled down shy of the 50-yard line. Brought down at the 49-yard line, and maybe a touchdown-saving tackle by Jaden Metter, another two-way player for Davenport West, and he may have saved a touchdown.
He did. As Rashad got through the line, explodes through there at top speed, and Jaden was the last one. Jaden Metter was the last person standing, and Rashad couldn't quite get away from him after the big gain. The Maroons are on the march.
Gain of 28 and a first down for the Maroons. Dowling 7 and Davenport West nothing. 9:15 remaining here in the second quarter from Duke Williams Stadium. Again, we apologize. We've had problems with the scoreboard here tonight, making sure the timing was right. Handoff for Rashad Davis again. He gets into Falcon territory, and he's finally run out of bounds at the Falcon 45-yard line. Again, a little quick hitter. They had the near hash, and they ran the short side here towards us at the press box.
And I don't know what the yards per carry are right now, but right now the Maroons are getting a lot of yardage just running the football, and we might not see the ball in the air here for a few more snaps as they're just getting 5, 6, 7 yards a pop.
Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, and Dental Associates. Mark Amadale, Matt Mandering, here in the press box at Williams Stadium on Des Moines' east side, home of Des Moines East and the Grandview University Vikings. John Chido on the Dowling sideline right in front of us. Dowling fans on this west sideline where the press box is located. And Davenport West fans on the far sideline over on the east side. Now the Maroons with a second down and 5. And a handoff once again to Rashad Davis. This time he goes near side. They're trying to milk that. Doesn't step out of bounds. And he's still on his feet and dives forward down to the 38-yard line. Officials kept him moving. He actually lost yardage with the 40, went back up to the 42-yard line, and then fell forward, Matt, to the 38.
Yeah.
And a first down Maroons, Rashad Davis.
He is exciting to watch. It was also good to see C.J. Phillip back out there, who came out a little gimpy after one play, and now he's back out there on the field as well. Not in on this play, but Dowling's going bunch formation again.
Bunch formation, no receivers. And they put Jalen Thompson in motion, handoff to Rashad Davis, looks over center, can't find a hole, and now goes a little east-west and is finally run out of bounds at the 35-yard line, a gain of 3.
Jaden Metter again on the stop for Davenport, as that young man's all over the field. And right now Rashad Davis has the hot hand, and he keeps, you're going to keep feeding him however they do it. And that was the first time we've seen that tight end reverse or whatever with the fake.
With the bunch formation.
Yeah.
Everybody was bunched. This time 2 receivers to the left, handoff. Rashad Davis, he goes left, trying to bounce outside the left tackle, can't do it, and he's finally brought down. And they're going to spot him down right at the 34-yard line.
Nice block out there by Hunter Crutchlow as he engaged his blocker and was just driving him down the field, allowing Davis some room. And right there, Rashad's been able to dance away from people, but he lost a little yardage there, and he's just got to finish that run going forward. He's been a lot closer to the stick.
All right, this time they put Bo Gamble to the right of the formation, down to the near sideline. Cooper Nicholson in the middle. 2 tight ends for the Maroons and 1 back in the backfield, and that's Rashad Davis. We mentioned earlier C.J. Phillip was shaken up in a previous series, but he's been back, but not in this play. Handoff Rashad Davis, right up the gut he goes, inside the 25, still on his feet. Arm tackles or stiff arms a player inside the 10. Does a little stop and go and finally run out of bounds at about the 6-yard line. It'll be first and goal Dowling on Rashad Davis's run of over 20 yards.
And that's exactly what you want to see that young man do, because he exploded through the line, no hesitation, no trying to get himself sideways with anything. Exploded downfield between Rockers and Batterton as they had created a crease for him. And he shoots down inside the 10-yard line. Nice run by Rashad Davis.
Spot him down at the 7 officially. It's a 27-yard run for Rashad Davis. First and goal, Dowling at the 7. Maroons knocking on the door in the Bows and the Flores red zone. 5-1-5-2-4-4 rows. Hand off for Rashad Davis.
Oh, I think
that's C.J. Phillip back in there. And he goes over tackle and touchdown. So they interchange the tailbacks. And C.J. Phillip, who was injured earlier, or shaken up we should say, goes in for the score. And the Maroons tack on, yep, it is CJ, tack on another one, and it's 13-0 Dowling, pinning the extra point.
Nice strong run by CJ, and he just ran through a couple arm tackles, and nothing was going to stop him from getting in the end zone.
All right, Jepson on the hold, and the Schumacher's extra point is up and good on the snap from Carson Hagan. So Dowling now leads 14-0 with 6:54 remaining here in the first half in the second quarter from Duke Williams Stadium, as the 5A playoffs continue with Dowling leading 14-0 over Davenport West on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Iowa Catholic Radio business underwriters provide people with the opportunity to hear the Word of God and grow in their faith each and every day. Our business supporters have helped expand our network, connecting more listeners to Christ. Would your business or organization like to share in this mission? If you own or manage a business, we would like to talk to you about how you can make a positive impact in the state of Iowa and beyond. To learn more about becoming an Iowa Catholic Radio underwriter, contact Deacon Mark 515-223-1150 or visit iowacatholicradio.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Bring the Eucharistic revival to your parish with Iowa Catholic Radio's Eucharistic Miracles of the World banner display. The work of future Saint Blessed Carlo Acutis, this beautiful display will educate and inspire. Learn more at iowacatholicradio.com.
And we're back here at Duke Williams Stadium. Here's a kickoff by Schumacher. Metter on the return, and he's hit and driven down right about the 19-yard line. That's where Davenport West will start their offense. 1st and 10. Dowling leading 14-0. Let's go down to John Chido. And Johnny, Dowling going 8 plays, 80 yards, capped off by C.J. Phillips' 7-yard run, putting the Maroons up 14-0.
Yeah, Dowling's doing a lot more of just straight runs. You're not seeing a lot of RPO games because you have those linebackers that are sitting still, and that's their read, and they're not really coming hard, so they're handing the ball off. And C.J. Phillips with that burst north-south really is hitting that hole hard tonight.
Thank you, John, for that sideline report. Dowling leading 14-0, and West now with Hansen at quarterback. First down from their own 20, and now trying to avoid tackles. He's going to be hit and sacked back inside the 20-yard line. The Maroons defense pressures the offensive line, and Hansen goes down.
A little pressure there early by Peyton Johnson, and then Jimmy Wanek comes and finishes it off. And I think, as they got to the sideline, I'm sure the coaching staff was talking to him, just as Johnny had alluded to earlier. They were just getting a little too aggressive up front. Stay in your lanes, keep him contained, don't run by him. And that's what the Dowling defense did right there. Jimmy Wanek with the tackle.
Another sack by the Maroon defense. That'll bring up 2nd and 12 for the Falcons, Davenport West, rather, on their own 18-yard line. Hansen back to throw. Wants to throw, now being chased. He's wrapped up and sacked back at the 15-yard line. So back-to-back sacks, and I'll tell you what, they're having a party down there. I'm trying to look at the number for the Maroons that got in the bottom of the pile off of that. Cody Hikus is one of them.
Yeah, Hikus, I believe, is the one that got onto the pile there, and Johnson wasn't too far behind. But Hikus, I think, made the initial hit on Hansen to drop him for a loss, and another sack by the Maroon defense.
So back-to-back sacks, and this will be Davenport West's third offensive possession. They go with 4 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Quarterback out of the shotgun. Obviously the offensive line, all 5 of them up there. Back to throw. Hansen looks right where everybody's at. Now being chased. Still looking. He's going to have to dump it, and he does. And he throws it into the Davenport West
sideline, yeah.
and it's incomplete. Somebody caught it over there, but it was out of bounds, apparently. It'll bring up.
I tell you what, Hansen paid the price right there. He hung on to that ball too long.
Last minute, yeah.
And he extended. He throws the ball and extends, and just at that moment, Jimmy Wanek hits him on the sideline of Davenport West, and he paid the price right there.
It'll bring up fourth down, 4th and 15 for Davenport West. Dowling leading 14-0. Want to thank Skeffington's Formal Wear, Catholic Tuition Organization, and Mercy One. Of course, Bozeman Florist is our Red Zone sponsor, 515-244-ROSE. It's 515-244-7673. Now here's the punt. Short punt fielded by Trey Wilson is at the West 43. Still on his feet. Down the near sideline 20. Stutter step 15 and finally run out of bounds right about the 14-yard line. That's where Dowling will take over, 1st and 10 from the West 14 on a tremendous punt return by Trey Wilson as he returned it 29 yards and a Dowling first down at the West 14 with 4:51 remaining on the game clock, which we apparently think is right after all the problems we had in the first quarter, Matt.
I'm guessing. Just a couple quick score updates. Southeast Polk is up on Ames, 14-0 in the second quarter. Cedar Rapids is up on Linn-Mar, 23-6. Johnston has pulled ahead of Iowa City High, 17-7 in the second quarter, and Centennial just pulled ahead of Cedar Falls, 10-7.
All right, back to throw is Smolik on first down. And he throws it in the end zone. He throws a frozen rope touchdown, Maroons. How about that?
That was on a line.
Yeah, that was a frozen rope into the end zone. And coming up at the bottom of the pile, was that Gamble?
Yeah, I believe it's Bo Gamble on the catch. No?
Michael Reichart.
Oh, it's Reichart. Yeah. Michael Reichart, the senior, split in 6'2", and that was a fastball. Johnny, did you hear it go by you? Because that was a bullet.
Yeah, and Jackson has an arm, as we already know, but being able to throw that on a line like that and how quick in the tight window, that was just a great throw.
Yeah,
on the run.
On the run. Reichart had a small window there, and Jackson fit it in.
He sure did, and extra point is up and good by Schumacher. 21-0 Dowling. We'll take a timeout with 4:44 left to go in the second quarter. Dowling 21, Davenport West nothing. Here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment, whether it's in the classroom or at home. Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
Hi, I'm Megs Howes at St. Teresa Catholic Church in Des Moines, Iowa. Thanks for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
And we're back here at Williams Stadium following the kickoff. Schumacher on the kickoff. And on the return, once again, Jaden Metter, and he's hit and brought down across the 25. They're going to mark him down at the 28-yard line, and it'll be first down walk for Davenport West. And we got some scores, Matt.
Yeah, we've been able to locate the Waukee Northwest score, the one that's concerning Dowling Catholic, and that is 0-0 at the end of the first quarter.
All right, here is Davenport West, and this time Hansen gives it to his tailback and nothing doing. Penalty flag down as the line of scrimmage was right at the 28-yard line.
And that was Ralston Rumley that just swallowed him up right there. They're going to
face mask.
Face mask against Dowling. So Michael Reichart on the 14-yard touchdown pass from Jackson Smolik. Maroons go one play and 14 yards. That was set up by Trey Wilson's 29-yard punt return. And the extra point by Schumacher was good. John Child, let's bring you in. I know a penalty here is being marched off against Dowling. It'll be a first down Davenport West. But that was quite the throw. And Reichart was one of many receivers out there. We haven't called his name a lot this year.
Yeah, it's good to see him to get that catch in that tight window. And he just found the open space in the back of the end zone because Jackson had to break the pocket and roll to his right. And Michael Reichart found that space.
All right, here is Hansen, and he keeps the football, just looking for a seam and couldn't find much, but he got up to about the 33, maybe the 34-yard line.
Yeah, you get a lot of bodies there, Hagan and everybody else meeting at the quarterback. But again, I believe Jimmy Wanik was the one that tripped him up and was able to limit the damage on that run.
So they'll move the ball up to the 34-yard line, gain of 2, and it'll bring up second down and 4. Keep in mind, Dowling had the 15-yard face mask penalty against them. Now the Falcons send out a receiver wide to the right, and that's the young man they had success with Ian Kinney, number 9. And now the left tackle moves, and that'll bring everything back. So penalty.
Who jumped first? That's going to be the question.
Brent Haynes is number 58, the left tackle, 6'4", 255, and that's looks like it's going to be against the offense.
Yeah, he flinched, and that had caused Hikus to jump across for the Maroons, and so that sets up the loss for the Falcons.
I want to remind you to stay tuned for halftime, as we will have halftime statistics, and I caught up with the Dowling head boys cross-country coach, Tim Ives, as they run tomorrow. They're defending champs. They'll run tomorrow afternoon at 2:45. Number 1 ranked Dowling boys cross-country team, and the number 8 Dowling girls cross-country team runs tomorrow at 2 o'clock under head coach Griffin Jaworski. So best of luck to them. We'll catch up with Coach Ives at halftime. Back to throw Hansen on 2nd and 9. Now he just airs it out, and it's incomplete. Threw it away, and, of course, the Dowling players on the near sideline are having fun with that, and that was Danny Nielsen, the backup tight end, with the catch.
With a nice catch
out of bounds. And Nick Calvert made one earlier that he dumped away, and they're kind of having fun with that. But it'll bring up 3rd and 9.
And Hansen, to his credit, he was the heady play because he was getting run out of bounds by Hagan, and he gets rid of the ball to prevent the loss of yardage.
So the line of scrimmage is the 29 of Davenport West. It'll bring up 3rd and 9. 3:21 left to go in the half. Dowling leading 21-0 here on Iowa Catholic Radio. 4 receivers to the right. Hansen looks that way. 1 to the left. He unloads, and the pass is incomplete. Tried to hit one of those receivers on a crossing pattern, and it was broken up. And I think it was Tucker Avis, the tailback, who was with that group, and it's incomplete.
Peyton Johnson shot through there. The 6'2", 210-pound defensive tackle shot through and hit Hansen just as he's releasing the ball again. But as you said, it was a nice breakup in the secondary because the ball was delivered where it needed to be, and able to get a hand on it and knock it free.
Hansen's got a couple of D2 looks, the outstanding quarterback for Davenport West, but right there, it forces the punt. So in the punt for the Falcons will be Branson Heath, averaging about 23 yards a punt. Gets it away, and it's fielded by Trey Wilson at his own 40. Return left across the 45. Cross midfield. He's looking for a wall down the 40-yard line and finally run out of bounds at the Falcon 35-yard line. Tremendous return, 25-yard return by Trey Wilson. And Cooper Nicholson threw a nice block. He was the co-safety back there, and Cooper threw a nice block. First down, Dowling.
But there was one block that they're going to call as a hold. There's a hold. One of the Dowling defenders blocked the kid, and the kid went down with him, and he didn't let him back up right away, so they call that a hold when they knock the kid to the ground but don't let him get back up.
So that'll wipe off the return to the 35 of West. That'll move it back. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring, Dowling leading 21-0. 3 minutes to go in the first half. Let's go down to John Chido for a report. And, Johnny, I don't know if you got with the trainers, but C.J. Phillip was back in the game. I think he may have tweaked an ankle in that earlier series in the first quarter.
Yeah, I saw him walking a little bit on the sideline trying to loosen his ankle up, and that's exactly what it was, and I think he's good to go. And obviously we saw it on that last series. But I want to say Vinny Bertinoli, the last 2 punts, has hit the up back and knocked him down both times, and it's just right in front of me. It's fun to walk.
All right, yeah. And on first down, Dowling on their own 45-yard line after the penalty, and they try to hit Jalen Thompson on a fly pattern from the right side, and Smolik threw it a little bit too hard, and it's incomplete.
That was a dart, and Jalen's running a seam route right down the middle of the field, and Smolik sees the opening and puts a laser out there, and Jalen didn't even have time to get his head around.
We're bringing up 2nd and 10, Dowling, ball on their own 45-yard line. 2 receivers right, double tight ends, play action. He swings it out. Cooper Nicholson with the catch from the slot, and he gets across midfield, still down the near sideline in front of us, in front of the Dowling bench, and they're going to step out of bounds at the 42, they say.
Davenport just learned how dangerous Cooper Nicholson is, because there were 2 unblocked guys after he caught that little swing pass. He makes the first one miss. The second guy gets enough of him and thinks that he knocks him out of bounds, but Cooper stays in bounds on the right, runs a tightrope down the right sideline for the first down.
Pistol formation and handoff. C.J. Phillip left side explodes through there across the 45-30. He might go inside the 20, 10, 5, touchdown. 42 yards for C.J. Phillip. Johnny, I think you hit the nail on the head. His ankle's all right.
Yeah, to be able to cut back like that and keep going forward, his ankle is doing really well right now.
Yeah. Touchdown, Dowling. The Maroons now tack on their fourth touchdown of the first half. They lead at 27-0 with Schumacher coming in for the extra point, Matt.
At the tipping point, remember how close this game was? 7-0. Davenport West on the goal line
on the 3-yard line
at the end of the first quarter. Yeah, and now it's going to likely be 28-0 here with 2 minutes left in the second.
Here's a snap by Hagan, and the ball is down, and the kick is up and good. So it's 28-0. Dowling with the lead, and it's got a score update. Pleasant Valley over Valley 10-3.
Yeah.
With a minute and a half left to go in the first half. Johnson leading 14-0.
Well, that score has been updated. Johnson has now had 24-7 over Iowa City High in the second quarter.
We'll come back. Dowling 28, Davenport West nothing. 2:40 remaining in the first half from Duke Williams Stadium on Des Moines East Side. Back with more high school playoff football on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Jimmy, do you take Judy to be your wife? To have and to hold?
Uh-huh.
For richer or poorer?
Okay.
Are you listening, Jimmy?
Jimmy!
Till death do you part?
Sure, right after I finish putting up this wall between us. There.
Jimmy, you're not dead yet.
When you use artificial contraception, it's like putting a wall between you and your spouse. Couples who instead regulate fertility naturally experience happier marriages and are less likely to divorce. Tear down the wall.
A message from Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercy1.org.
Wednesdays at 9 a.m., listen to Be Not Afraid on Iowa Catholic Radio, iowacatholicradio.com, and on demand on the Iowa Catholic Radio app, connecting listeners with Christ.
Hey, we're back here at Duke Williams Stadium on Des Moines East Side. Kickoff by Schumacher, fielded by Metter again. This time he gets it up near the 19-yard line, where Davenport West will have a first down. Dowling going 3 plays, 55 yards. C.J. Phillips gets loose for 42, and now the scoreboard is out. So Dowling leading, and we'll go down to John Chido after this play. After Davenport West with a first down from their own 19-yard line. Read option, and Hansen will keep it over the left end, left guard, and he's stacked up and dropped. Gain of about 1, and they'll stop the clock. Timeout Dowling with 2:18 to go. Apparently, the scoreboard back on. We'll go down to John Chido. Johnny?
Well, Dowling's done a great job with their adjustments. They were running that three-man front, and they were bringing 2 linebackers off the edge, and they were really coming hard, and it was allowing for Hansen, the quarterback for West, to step up in that pocket and take off running, and they were doing a lot of short throws. And then now Dowling is they're sending pressure, but they're staying gaps. They're playing the cutback, and Jimmy Wanick's been doing a nice job spying the quarterback for Davenport West.
Yeah, as we've seen, Johnny, West has not got an established running game other than what their quarterback improvises with, it seems like.
Yeah, and they Avis had some nice runs, and it was a lot of delayed draw type runs because they allowed the ends to come upfield, and it was able to hit the back up the middle of the field. But then now what Dowling's doing, the ends are coming hard, and Rumley, the nose guard, is staying home in this gap and is taking that away from Davenport West.
Thanks for that update, John. As Dowling leads at 28-0, 2 minutes, 15 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Our thanks to Ashworth Vision Clinic, Dental Associates, and Construction Professionals. If you joined us late, Dowling has scored on a pair of touchdowns by C.J. Phillip, runs of 7 and 42 yards. Michael Reichard on a 14-yard touchdown reception from quarterback Jackson Smolik. And Rashad Davis got it all started with a 4-yard run to start things off for Dowling. And now here is Hansen inside handoff, and they give it to the tailback, who they tried to establish early, and that's Tucker Avis. And Avis, the 5'8", 175-pound senior, gets it across the 20, up to the 25-yard line, Matt, where Dowling will call timeout. That'll be a 4-yard gain. Timeout with 2:09 remaining, and it'll be third in about 4.
Right, and Dowling we thought earlier had called a timeout to goal line, and then we realized it was the end of the quarter because we didn't have a clock at that point.
Right.
So Dowling does have all 3 timeouts. They've used 2 of them. They have 1 left, so they can call it at the end of third down here and get the ball back before the half if they get a stop here. So good clock management for the Maroons and looking to get a stop again. And Johnny gave a perfect description of what's going on right now. As Rumley's staying home, the defense was getting over-aggressive, getting outside their lanes, and once they stayed disciplined, it really hampers the Davenport West offense.
It certainly does. Reminder, Dowling Open House is Sunday, November 6th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Families and students of all ages are invited. Matt, you're going to be there, right?
Well, I might. I got to go to a wedding.
Another wedding this year?
Brookings, South Dakota.
Oh,
well, it's not on a Friday night, though.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes.
That's the night we brought Johnny up here.
Yeah, we did.
He thought it was a different view.
I listened.
I think he enjoyed that.
Yeah.
We'll have to see that. So just a reminder, mark your calendars, Sunday, November 6th at Dowling Open House. All right, out of the timeout, 3rd down and 4 for Davenport West. Hansen on play action fires a pass out. Caught. Nice catch up the 40-yard line, 1st down for Davenport West, and that was one of those little quick pop passes. Found the guy going right over the middle on a slant route, and that's Mitch Irwin.
And he found that tight end over the middle. Just the tight end dump. Here they go. Hurry up. Davenport does.
And it finds Irwin again, and he's hit and dropped, and the pass is incomplete. Irwin's a big, tall young man. Mitch is 6'7", 215 pounds. As Coach Cruzy told me last night when I visited with him, he says, you'll know who he is, and they're starting to get him involved here before the half.
Yeah, they are. And he's a big target, and they're trying to find that soft spot behind the linebackers in front of the safeties that early in the season Dowling showed some weakness there, and since have cleaned it up and really have come on and cleaned up that pass defense.
Well, West wants to get into maybe field goal range. It's 2nd and 10, Davenport West. Read option. Hansen will keep it, and he's being wrapped up in the backfield. He'll slide back to the line of scrimmage to the 40 for no gain.
And Carson Hagan got one of them grips. He got that grip on the jersey of Hansen. One's going to let him go and stopped him short. And Dowling will. The clock's going to run, so Dowling has one. The clock's not okay. Clock is running.
They have one timeout left.
One timeout left, so they'll call it after this play, likely. Considering if it's not a first down.
Ankeny leading 7-0 at the half over Sioux City North. That's a surprise. 28-0 Dowling. 63 seconds left to go in the half. Handoff goes to Avis. He's hit and wrapped up and dropped. Nice hit. Tucker Avis goes down, and I'll tell you, the Maroons are living in the backfield.
Yeah.
Now they call timeout, and they'll burn their last timeout.
Yeah, Ralston Rumley right there made that play in a hurry as he blew by the center. That's one of those things that the center is the only one that's a little underweight there for Davenport West, and Rumley blew right by him.
We'll keep it here with 58 seconds remaining in the first half. It'll bring up 4th, and I'm going to call it 13 now with a loss on a play back to the 37-yard line. 4th and 13 for Davenport West. Matt, update.
Yeah, run down some scores at the half. Most of these are at the half now. Centennial is ahead of Cedar Falls 10-7. Valley kicked the field goal, so they are down 10-6 at the half. Johnston is up 24-7. Cedar Rapids Prairie up 30-6 over Linn-Mar. And the Waukee Northwest Cedar Rapids Kennedy game is at the half, and it's 0-0. Southeast Polk is up on Ames 21-3. And as you just reported, Ankeny is up 7-0 at the half over Sioux City East, which is a big surprise.
Sioux City East, I said Sioux City North. Sioux City East, you're right.
That's a big surprise.
All right, John Chowder, you're in the Dowling sideline. Something coming up. You're going to talk to Coach Wilson here in about a minute of game time, and some questions you got coming up. What do you think?
Just going to talk about, the drive that West had, like Matt said, it could have been a tie game right there in the first quarter, and talk about how Dowling's defense was a little bit aggressive, and they settled down, and I think Dowling's had the ball 4 times, 4 scores, right?
I believe so.
The 28-0.
Punter hasn't been out there.
Yeah.
West punter is in there. Heath, he gets it away, and It's fielded by Trey Wilson again at the 35, still on his feet. Now reverses field 40. Down the near sideline midfield, and he's run out of bounds to the 48-yard line of Davenport West. Trey Wilson, he and Cooper Nicholson keep it interesting. They keep kicking to Trey, the sophomore.
Yep.
And Dowling will have it with no timeouts remaining, right, Matt? We'll have a first down at the West 48-yard line.
And these are the situations as a coach you just look forward to. You get an opportunity to work your offense 45 seconds. It doesn't matter what the score is. 45 seconds ago, even though they're up 20-0, these are the moments you really want your team to execute in the postseason. Maroons will come out with 3 receivers to the left. Dowling going left to right, north to south here at Duke Williams Stadium. Maroons the home team over Davenport West, leading 28-0. And now a quarterback draw as Smolik shows his strength, gets away from a tackle, and now still on his feet, and they'll throw it away. And if it went past the line of scrimmage, he's fine, and I think it did. Yeah.
And nonetheless, it's incomplete, but defended by West. They had every receiver for Dowling covered very well.
And they sent extra pressure on, I believe, and they got pressure back there in a hurry, which we haven't seen too often, as that offensive line for Dowling has really created a very good pocket for Jackson Smolik most of the time. But that time he got pressure. They got pressure right away.
Right, Reichart, Thompson, and Nicholson, the 3 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Smolik empty backfield, waiting the snap from his center, Shelton. Back to throw Smolik over the middle, and he finds his receiver, but it's stripped away at the 25-yard line, incomplete. In and out of the hands of Jalen Thompson, but he had it, and then he had it stripped away.
Yeah, the ball was laid right in his hands, and just as his hands got on it, the defender from Davenport West made a great play and knocked it out of Jalen's hands before he could bring it in.
3rd and 10, Dowling on the Davenport West 49-yard line is the actual line of scrimmage. Back to throw is Smolik out of the shotgun with 5 receivers, fires it out, and he overthrew Troy Wilson at the 25-yard line, incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down for Dowling. We may see Nicholson in there to punt.
Yeah, they are going to punt.
Yeah, they're not going to mess around with field position, I don't think. So the Dowling will send their punting unit in. And hats off to Davenport West. A lot of two-way players, but they hold Dowling. And back deep is Metter. We've seen him a lot back there. One young man we haven't seen a whole lot or heard from is Devin Sanders Howard, their outstanding slot receiver, punt returner, and kick returner. Metter's been handling that responsibility tonight. Nicholson waits a snap. Good snap by Hagan, and off the side of his foot and out of bounds inside the 40 of Davenport West. So West will have it with 19 seconds remaining, and where they're going to angle it out of bounds at, right about the 42-yard line, it looks like. And that's where the West offense will take over. 1st and 10 from their own 40, they say.
Yeah, it's one of those plays where in hindsight you go, now we could have gone for it. you didn't gain a lot of yards on that.
No, you didn't.
But Cooper Nicholson has done a great job all year. That's the only misfire I can remember him, the missed punt that I can remember all season so far.
Here's the deal: you don't do it enough, you lose.
True.
You kind of forget, and that's a good thing. You don't punt enough, but when you do, you got to be ready. And Cooper off the side of his foot, bunch formation, 4 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Hanson back to throw, facing pressure. He's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 31-yard line, and that's Hagan that got him.
Hagan got a clean break off the line of scrimmage, and that front 3 is really having a lot of fun right now. Rumley, Hikus, and Hagan, they are just chewing things up front, and Hagan comes off the right edge, hits Hanson right away, and Davenport West lets the clock run out.
That's the 4th sack in the first half by Dowling, and that one was an 8-yard sack by Carson Hagan. And we've come to the end of the first half with Dowling Catholic leading 28-0 over Davenport West. Mark Amadale, Matt Mandring, and John Chido. The Maroons will let Davenport West crisscross the field first and go to their locker room. Dowling is in the northeast locker room, so they got to crisscross the field. Usually during the college game, they just exit back here, does the visiting team. But nonetheless, that's going to work out. And we'll go down with to John Chido, and he has head coach Tom Wilson. Johnny?
Well, Coach, first game of the playoffs, the defense a little aggressive and allowed West to get good foot position. They settled down, and then offensively it's been clicking here in the first half.
Yeah, I don't know that we played particularly well, to be honest with you, but offensively we've been able to kind of do what we want until that last series when we wanted to go hurry. I didn't think we executed that very well.
Alongside Matt Mandring, Mark Amadale, just notified that they just shut all the internet and stuff down here, so we had a reboot. Johnny, you still down there? Let's just make sure your mic's working. Yeah, it is. I can hear you.
Yeah, Johnny's on, but he's not on.
They did a reboot, and
they rebooted everything, the scoreboard and the whole ball of wax.
So we apologize for that. Matt, we'll go back to we'll have to go back through those score lists. But Dowling leading here at halftime, 28-0. Although the scoreboard says 7-0, so you know they're doing a full reboot here at halftime.
It's Halloween weekend, Mark.
I guess so. And hats off the folks here at Des Moines East and Grandview University, trying to do everything they can and with their staff that's here to help with this. It's just been one of those internet nights.
Yeah.
But the Maroons with I think scoring on every possession, but the final one for Dowling Catholic before the punter came out. C.J. Philp on a pair of touchdown runs of 7 and 42 yards. Michael Reichart with a 14-yard touchdown reception from quarterback Jackson Smolik. And Rashad Davis on a 4-yard run. All the extra points by Andrew Schumacher were good. 28-0 Dowling at halftime. And Matt, have you got your phone rebooted? You go and take over some of the scores in 5A district football.
You bet. Ankeny Centennial 10-7 up on Cedar Falls. And Pleasant Valley and Valley are 10-6 at the half. Out of that pod, Ankeny is up on Sioux City East 7-0. Iowa City High scored late in the first quarter to make that score 24-13. Johnston over Iowa City High in that pod. Southeast Polk is up on Ames 21-3 at the half. And Cedar Rapids Prairie is having their way with Linn-Mar. It's 30-6 at the half. And then in the pod that Dowling Catholic is in, Waukee Northwest and Cedar Rapids Kennedy were 0-0 at the half.
All right, let's take a look at our first half statistics, and we want to thank Jared Seifert, one of the Dowling coaches that provides that, as Dowling leads 28-0 here at halftime. The Maroons with 196 yards of total offense, Davenport West with 83. Dowling has 26 yards in the air and 170 yards on the ground. Davenport West 70 yards in the air and 13 yards on the ground. And the Maroons have 11 first downs in the first half, 7 for Davenport West. Dowling penalized 4 times for 25 yards, and Davenport West penalized twice for 10 yards. Jackson Smolik is 3 out of 8 passing, 26 yards and a touchdown. And for Davenport West, quarterback Brady Hansen is 5 out of 11 passing for 70 yards, no touchdowns and no interceptions. For Dowling Catholic, Rashad Davis, 10 carries, 103 yards and a touchdown in the first half. C.J. Phillip, 5 carries for 67 yards and a pair of touchdowns. For Davenport West, Devin Sanders Howard, 1 carry for 16 yards, and we haven't seen him since. He is their leading all-purpose back. Also in there, Tucker Avis, their starting tailback, 8 carries for 11 yards. Jaden Metter, 1 carry for -2 yards. And also in there for Ian Kinney had 1 carry for -3 yards, and quarterback Hansen, 11 carries for -9 yards for Davenport West. For Dowling Catholic, leading receiver, Michael Reichart, 1 catch for 14 yards and a touchdown. Cooper Nicholson, 1 catch for 13 yards. And C.J. Phillip, 1 catch for -1 yards. For Davenport West, their leading receiver is Dalton Thompson, 4 catches for 55 yards. And their tight end, Landon Wright, 1 catch for 15 yards. And the Maroons have racked up a couple sacks. Carson Hagan with a pair of sacks in the first half. Cody Hikus has a sack in the first half. And Ralston Rumley and Jimmy Wanick credit for a half a sack each in the first half. But again, it's Dowling with 196 yards of total offense in the first half. Davenport West with 83 yards. And the third quarter, as that game moves to the third quarter in Cedar Rapids, Waukee Northwest leading Cedar Rapids Kennedy 3-0, and that would be an upset with the seeds there, Matt. But Coach Kapatic and the Northwest Wolves trying to win on the road at Kingston Stadium.
Yeah. Mr. Piggott might not be happy with that score.
He's off tonight.
Yeah, he's off tonight. But Kennedy, Waukee Northwest took the first drive down and kicked the field goal.
All right, we'll take a break, and we come back. We'll catch up with the Dowling boys cross-country coach, the defending state champs, Tim Ives, as they head to Fort Dodge tomorrow to run. I had caught up with Coach Ives earlier, and stay tuned for that conversation. Again, halftime, Dowling leading Davenport West 28-0. We're at Williams Stadium on Des Moines' east side. Back after these messages on Iowa Catholic Radio.
It's the Iowa Catholic Radio Pro-Life Diaper Drive. October is the month dedicated to pro-life, and Iowa Catholic Radio is celebrating all month long, as we will be accepting your donations of new diapers at the new Iowa Catholic Radio Network studio location, 1355 50th Street, Suite 500 in West Des Moines, next to Intervisions Healthcare. Diapers of all sizes are appreciated. Be part of the Iowa Catholic Radio Pro-Life Diaper Drive during the month of October, supporting Intervisions Healthcare.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
Hello, this is Father Dave Fleming from the Diocese of Des Moines. Thanks for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio, 1150 AM KWKY Des Moines, 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines, 88.5 FM KIHS Adel. Online anytime at iowacatholicradio.com.
Hey, we're back here at Williams Stadium. Dowling leading here at halftime, 28-0 over Davenport West in the Class 5A first round of the playoffs. And earlier I caught up with head coach Tim Eyes at Dowling Catholic, the boys cross-country coach. And tomorrow afternoon, they run for the state championship as the girls and boys state co-ed cross-country championships held in Fort Dodge. The smaller schools are today, and the large schools are tomorrow. Dowling boys will run at 2:45. The Dowling girls will run at 2 o'clock. And here's my conversation with head coach Tim Ives. Mark Hamadale now with head coach Tim Ives, the Dowling boys cross-country team, as they get underway tomorrow at the boys state cross-country championships up in Fort Dodge. And Coach Ives, thanks for joining me. Best of luck tomorrow, and thanks for joining us on the eve before.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk cross-country, Mark. Thanks for having me on.
Well, tonight we've got football here at Williams Stadium, playoff football. You're in your postseason. You won your district, but what a journey it's been. You've been involved. The school's been involved with 9 state titles. Of that, 7 of them came through you, including last year. And last year, if I remember right, was kind of a surprise. You were, second behind Sioux City North, but things changed at Fort Dodge, and I think you don't want that to happen tomorrow, but you never know. But your kids have done real well this year in this journey, and it's got to be exciting. It looks like it's going to be a good day in Fort Dodge for Saturday.
Yeah, the forecast looks tremendous, so we won't have that as an excuse if we don't perform well. Mid-60s and bright sunshine, but yeah, we're very much looking forward to going back to Fort Dodge and defending our state championship from a year ago. Sioux City North, as you mentioned, did have our number for most of last season, but not at the state meet, so we were proud of that achievement, for sure.
Yeah, what a run that was. And, before we start talking about this year and this year's team, you have several returners back from last year's state championship team. But you look back and, Tim, you've been here at Dowling since 2007. This is your 16th year you're completing. And you look at the titles and even the second-place runner-up finishes. You're always competing. And this is a sport that's really a grind. I mean, it's a grind every year. You got to make it fun. As I tell people, being a non-runner, says I haven't seen too many people smile when they run. Well, that's not the case with your group or the girls' group at Dowling. They make it so much fun for the kids, whether they're on the JV or the varsity. And that team camaraderie, regardless of what happens, is really prevalent within your program and the girls' program at Dowling.
Yeah, you're right. I'm very proud to say that our guys do compete well together. They love to train together, show up, and just live life together. And they do have a lot of fun. And something unique about cross country is that so much of our training is just purely aerobic in nature, which means you can carry on conversations. And so I enjoy that as a coach, running alongside of these guys in training, but I know our athletes just love to build that camaraderie and that rapport. And so for our group, we most definitely love kind of interacting with each other in that way on the cross-country trail and on the course and throughout the residential neighborhoods of West Des Moines.
Well, Coach Ives, like so many sports, cross-country is a 12-month year. You got to train for it or be at least competing and training and then peak at the right time. And you do a pretty good job finding that delicate balance between when to push and when not to. And you go back to last spring at track. Dowling boys won their first ever state track title. And you go into the summer, starts out every once in a while you go to Estes Park. My daughter was part of that with the girls team. And that's camaraderie building up, but also training in that thin air. And then you start the season. And it starts really hot. It gets really warm in August, September, as we know here in Iowa, and even part of October. And then it's, it peaks out you'll be running in the 50s tomorrow. Talk about that journey and for the kids that are trying to condition their bodies, because that is very, very unique.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, we're not going to experience too many acute, serious injuries like some of our other sport counterparts. Our injuries come from overuse, and so that can be tough. Where you develop a knee pain or shin splints, and untreated for several weeks or months at a time can really break down the body and lead to all sorts of sidelining injuries. So it is a challenge, but as you pointed out, it is, for many of our boys, a 12-month commitment. And so when you're not going in and out of conditioning from season to season, it really does help us ramp up our training volume and intensity throughout the season in such a way that we can have heavier periods mixed in with lighter periods, but rarely ever just completely stepping away from training. And that keeps our runners resilient and healthy and competing at their best during championship season.
A year ago, we saw this in state track with a young man named Jackson Heidish, who's now in his senior year. He's your number one runner. And he had to run a race again after having an instance during the normal race, and I think it was a 1,500 or 800 meter. Okay, so he had to run it again at state track. And it's like, well, that's fine because of the instance that happened. And yet he's been competing. He was ready for that moment. And even how fluky it was, running another 800 meters isn't easy on a hot day in Iowa. But Jackson, along with the rest of your seniors, they are so well prepared. And I know you're the number one seed tomorrow, but saying that, others are in the hunt. The Joensens, the Norwalk, City Highs, they're all going to be there. And I know you don't want to become last year's Sioux City North. So I think your guys are all prepared mentally and physically for tomorrow's meet.
I'd like to think that they are. And in fact, I'm very confident in this team tomorrow that, whatever the outcome will be, I know that they're healthy. I know that they want this. They're eager. They're hungry. And they're determined. So I know they're going to give me their best. And I like my chances. I like our chances tomorrow in Fort Dodge. But you're right. We're going to have several good quality runners and teams giving chase. And so we're going to have to show up on race day and show them what we're all about.
Well, Coach, tomorrow let's talk about the runners that will be involved. There'll be 6 runners from Dowling, led by Jackson Heidish and Flynn Milligan, your 2 seniors. But there's some sophomore, there's some youth in there, and they're all competing. They're all waiting for this moment because it is the climax of their season. And talk about the rest of the runners with Jackson Heidish and Flynn Milligan, your 2 seniors.
Yeah, so returners from last year, Matthew Bootman, a sophomore from last year. He's now a junior. Jack Flory is now a sophomore. Max DeRocher is new to the lineup. He's a junior and really broke out last track season, and he has made a huge difference. He's typically been our forerunner. Nick Clucky, he's actually our 3rd senior to round out the top 7. And so, that's a dangerous mix of guys. I forgot to mention Owen Wolf as a sophomore. He's come on really strong in the last half of the season and just cracked our top 7 in the month of September and October, very into September and October. So these guys are running their best cross country this time of the year, and I couldn't have drawn things up any better, at least up to this point, the eve of state meet. So now we hope that they can show up one last time and compete, for another quality 5K and see what happens from there.
Coach Ives, before I let you go, talk about your staff, because your coaching staff does a tremendous job. This is a 12-month training event, but yet you only have them so many times that you can have contact with them. But the kids and the captains and the leaders every year just the baton keeps getting handed off. I hate to use a track term here when we're talking cross country, but you hand the baton off, and those captains really rally the team while you can't coach them. But talk about your coaching staff.
Yeah, so Coach Kelly McCarty has been with me for a good number of years, and he's been on the deck with us, winning some state championships, and also wringing his hands when we don't come out on top. And so he's been there, right? He's been my right-hand man, you might say, for a good number of years. Lance Peterson's in his first year. He's a Spanish teacher at the school, and he's been a great addition. He's has some Ironman triathlon experience. He does competitive endurance cycling, so he's been great to have around. And then Kevin Lewis, as a volunteer coach, has been with us for a number of years as well. So great guys, and I wouldn't want to be serving alongside anyone else.
Well, Coach Ives, best of luck tomorrow at Fort Dodge, and that'll be some meet. You have a great day to do that. And, the tradition continues. I mean, this is your 14th straight year that Dowling's qualified for the state meet, and you're lucky to have brought home 7 trophies here, and 8 is awaiting, I think. And stay healthy, and I know the kids will give it their best. Thanks for joining us tonight.
I appreciate the conversation, Mark. Thank you.
Head coach Tim Ives of the Dowling boys cross-country team as they're trying for back-to-back state titles. The Maroons won 7 state titles under Coach Ives, and 8 is on the horizon. And we have players on the field. So, Matt, we're going to take a break. Dowling leads 28-0. Back after this 1-minute break for the second half here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment. Whether it's in the classroom or at home, Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by CTO. Your support has helped thousands of students attend our Catholic schools. CTOiowa.org. At CTO, the bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Celebrate the end of Roe v. Wade. Attend Pulse Life Advocates Pro-Life Christmas Gala Saturday, November 19th at the Meadows Event Center in Altoona, Iowa. Get details at pulse4life.org. A message from Iowa Catholic Radio.
And we're back here at Duke Williams Stadium, underway here in the second half as Davenport West kicks off to Dowling Catholic. Hunter Crutchlow returns it for the Maroons on a squib kick. First down Dowling at their own 44-yard line. Jackson Smolik in at quarterback. And the handoff, Rashad Davis. He kind of zigs and zags and picks up a first down. He crosses midfield and finally gets down to the west 45-yard line on a first down carry, Matt.
That was impressive. From Johnny's view, too, it had to look really good. That offensive line put that defensive front on skates, and they were just going backwards. And he had Rashad not even running at full steam because he's just running behind this wall that's moving down the field, and they churn out 11 yards in a hurry.
Dowling 28 and Davenport West nothing. Mark Amadeo, Matt Maindring, John Chido. Back to throw is Smolik, and he fires it out, and catching it on his knees is Jalen Thompson. And
he wasn't letting that one get away, was he?
He kind of bobbled it, but made the catch at the 38-yard line, gain of 6.
He said that one hit me in the hands, but the kid again. Jalen would have had it would have been a heck of a catch to get that thing. But I know Jalen has high expectations for himself. That one that got stripped earlier, but he wasn't letting that one get away.
All right, pistol formation with Rashad Davis behind quarterback Jackson Smolik. Crutchlow, the fullback, and they give it to Davis, right side. He's got some room. He's still on his feet down inside the 31-yard line, they're going to call it. Gain of 7. And I'll tell you what, Crutchlow doing a great job. John, let's go down to you for our first report from the second half. Well, Dowling's going to hurry up, so give me a second. 2 receivers to the right, 2 tight ends, handoff. Rashad Davis again, and this time he bounces outside the numbers and angling for the far sideline, out of bounds at the Davenport West inside the 30-yard line. Johnny, go ahead.
Yeah, Matt's exactly right with the offensive line. Now you're going to see the second half where they're going to start thriving because that's when they start taking advantage of the line of scrimmage, and you got two-way players for West a little bit, and you're going to see some of the stamina kind of get to the West players.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now, on a night like this where you have pretty good weather, they probably hang in there a little longer. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right for Dowling, empty backfield, and Smolik back to throw. He finds Jalen Thompson. He gets loose. He's inside the 10 and finally brought down right about the 7-yard line. And that time Thompson with back-to-back catches in this drive.
I think Coach Wilson knows that down the road, Jalen Thompson's needs to be a part of this. He needs to contribute in this offense. And even though he had that one play in the first half, they've gone to him twice now. He's made 2 good catches, broke the tackle on that one, and got it down to the 5 or 6.
21-yard catch, handoff Rashad Davis inside the 5, touchdown. He found the seam, whatever the right guard and tackle gave him in that B gap, and he scores from the right side. And Rashad with his second touchdown tonight from 7 yards out, and Dowling now is 1 point away from the running clock.
Yeah, nice play there. Nice run by Rashad Davis as he gets in there behind Nahas and Agos and explodes for that touchdown.
7-yard touchdown run on the Maroons' opening drive. The extra point by Schumacher is up and good. 35-0 Dowling. 9:41 remaining here in the third quarter from Duke Williams Stadium. You're listening to the Class 5A District Playoffs here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. All right, we're back at Duke Williams Stadium. Here is the kickoff by Dowling Catholic, and now Metter with it from his own 5-yard line on the return. He gets it up to across about the 20-yard line. They're going to spot him down, and it'll be 1st and 10, Davenport West. 35-0 Dowling leads over Davenport West. Matt Maindry, you got to look at some score updates.
Yeah, after Matthew Hanton makes that tackle there, we have Davenport West kid down the field as well. But anyway, some scores here. It is now Waukee Northwest ahead of Kennedy 9-0 at the end of the third quarter. So 9-0, Waukee Northwest ahead of Kennedy, Cedar Rapids Kennedy 9-0 at the end of the third quarter. So that game moving along real quickly at this point. A couple other scores. Cedar Falls is now ahead of Ankeny Centennial 14-10 the third quarter. Johnston and Iowa City, the scores, the quarter is, it says here now, is in the fourth quarter, 24-14 Johnston up there. Prairie is well ahead of Linn-Mar 44-6. Valley kicked another field goal, so they are down only by 1 point to Pleasant Valley. It is 10-9. Southeast Polk is up on Ames 28-3. And I've got not much update. I think that Ankeny score, the last we got is still 7-0 on that.
All right, the last score by Dowling, 5 plays, 56-yard, capped off by Rashad Davis. Second touchdown tonight. Davis on a 7-yard run. And now here is Davenport West with the football. 1st and 10 West on their own, they call it 20-yard line. That's where Metter returned it, and they give it to their tailback, Tucker Avis, and he gets a yard up to the 21. So bring up 2nd and 9, and let's see how much the playbook gets opened up for Davenport West, trailing by 5 touchdowns here in the second half, Matt.
35-0, so the clock is running. And for those of you that aren't at the stadium, it's what's happening is the clock is running, but it's going down, not by the second. It just jumps around. Sometimes 10 seconds will come off. The time is right occasionally, so let's say that. But with the running clock right now, it's going to move pretty quickly.
Yes, it will. 2 receivers left, one to the right for Davenport West. Hanson, their quarterback, fires it out, and the pass is caught. Ian Kinney with the catch on a little flanker screen, and he's still with the football. Gets up to the 25-yard line and pick up a 4.
So a lot of starters out there yet defensively for the Maroons on the defensive side of the ball. They've subbed in a few players, but for the most part, these guys need to get some reps, and they've brought in a few second-tiered players up front as they do normally cycle through in that second series. I have a feeling we'll see the second offense come onto the field once they get the opportunity to again.
All right, Davenport West breaks the huddle. Mitch Irwin, the 6'7", 215-pound receiver, is the receiver on the far sideline. 3 to left, 2 to the right, back to throw Hanson. Fires that way, caught by Irwin, and he's up across the 30 to the 35-yard line for a gain of 10 and a first down.
Gain of 10, nice pass and catch there, and I believe that is Jared Rickey coming up, making the tackle right away. But the pass and was caught right at the sticks, so it's a first down.
1st and 10, Davenport West. And we want to thank our sponsors tonight here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. They include the Catholic Tuition Organization, Skeffington's Formal Wear, and Mercy One. And there's that bunch formation. 4 receivers to the right of the formation, 1 to the left. Empty backfield for their quarterback, and that is Hanson. And he just decides to run with the football, splits it out there, and gets across the 40-yard line. So, again, Brady Hanson spreads the field and he gets across up to the 43-yard line, a pickup of 8.
And, again, with the clock running 35-0, Dowling is content to let that clock run, and this running the ball down the field like this is just chewing up a lot of time in a hurry here as they move through the third quarter.
Dowling 35, Davenport West nothing. 6:24 remaining here in the third quarter. Apparently, we think, has been problems with the scoreboard all night. And here's a handoff to the tailback, and that is Avis. And Tucker Avis right up the gut, picks up the first down at midfield, and finally tackled in Dowling territory at the Maroon 49.
And these are the types of plays that Davenport West was running and getting chunk yardage on early. And it looks like there's a flag on the field here, so we'll see what the call is. They
called the penalty on Dowling.
Yep.
And that being on Carson Hagan.
So face mask penalty, the 5-yard face mask penalty.
You have the option, 5 or 15. Yeah.
Yep. And so, which means he didn't grab and take him down by the face mask.
So it'll be a first down for Davenport West. Back to throw Hansen, fires it near side, caught by Kelton Youngberg. And he's got a first down. He's inside the 40 and brought down at the Dowling 35-yard line.
And on the play, you had Justin Williams there right away, along with Jared Rickey on the tackle. But again, enough for a first down as Davenport West is starting to move the ball down the field. And again, Dowling has got almost all their starters out there yet in this defensive series. And this is what we saw from Davenport West on that second series earlier in the game.
All right, West now with a first down at the Dowling 35. 4 bunch receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and Hansen will keep it. Kind of spreads everybody else out, and he goes over to the left side and picks up a few yards down to the 31-yard line. Pick up about 3.
When they run that quad set, I always call that a quads formation. They're running 4 guys out to the right side of the field, and it always seems to be to the right side. And they've got 1 guy up in the line of scrimmage, and then the other 3 stacked behind them, 2 wide and 1 directly behind the first guy. They're trying to open the field a little bit for Brady Hansen and let him to run, because what that does is it really isolates the middle of the field, and Jimmy Wanek has to make the plays.
All right, 2 receivers on each side of the formation. It's 2nd and 7 for Davenport West. Hansen back to throw, stays in the pocket, now being chased, now being swallowed up, and finally gobbled up back at the 41-yard line. He'll lose 10 yards on the Dowling sack, which I believe is the 5th of the night.
Peyton Johnson back there for the Maroons, who's had a heck of a night tonight. I believe that's his 2nd sack, Mark. You have to look at your board.
Coach Seifert has it.
Yeah, that's right. But Peyton's been back there a couple times now, and then that drops. That's a big hit to Davenport West, as that puts them now at 3rd and 17.
Game clock right around the 4-minute mark. Is that as best I can say?
That's all we can do. We can guess. It's
close. It's going about 8 to 10-second intervals when it winds down. Running clock, Dowling leading 35-0 here in the third quarter. Beautiful, crisp night here at Duke Williams Stadium in Des Moines East Side. Here's Hansen out of the pocket again. He'll run for it inside the 40, down the far sideline, and finally run out of bounds inside the 30. I'm not sure where they'll spot him out around the 30-yard line. Nice run by that young man, 11 yards.
Yeah, he got away from Jimmy Wanek. Jimmy Wanek, who was playing that spy position, it missed. It was a step off of Brady Hansen, was able to break that arm tackle as he scooted to the outside. So here it is, 4th and 5, long 5, short 5.
From the Dowling 29. So Hansen scrambles for 12 that time, but he needed a bunch. They'll call it that. 4th and 5 or 6. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Empty backfield for quarterback Brady Hansen, who's went the distance. Good snap, back to throw, looks right. Now gets a defender in the air, and he'll run for it inside the 25, and he finally picks up the first down, puts his head down to about the 17-yard line of Dowling.
He's got deceptive speed as he came out of that, as the pressure went by him with that front 3. And was able to squirt through there. And again, Jimmy Wanek and him had a little tango. He breaks the tackle, gets the first down as the clock now runs under closer to 2:30 left.
Southeast Polk extends their lead to 35-3 in their game tonight. So the Rams looking to move on to the second round. Here it's first down, Davenport West. 2:13 remaining or thereabouts here in the third quarter. Two receivers on each side of the formation, and they give it to Avis, and Tucker Avis trying to find a seam over the right side.
Yeah,
he's got the first
pile.
Now we got the scrum going inside the 10. Officials let him play. Maroons have not tackled him yet, and they're going to bring him down at the 9-yard line, a pickup of about 6 or 7 yards.
So you got in that rugby scrum, and you have this mass of humanity moving down the field.
Yes, indeed.
I got to say, it looked like a high school dance there for a second. That's how you get that pile. I've been to a lot of them, Mark.
I know you have. You've done a great job. I haven't heard anything happen. But
no,
that's
it's always
it's good.
It's just a mass of humanity, and it's not really dancing anymore. It's just jumping up and down.
Second down and short for Davenport West. Called about 2. Line of scrimmage, the Dowling 9. Maroons trying to preserve the shutout. Falcons come out with 2 receivers on each side of the formation, 1 back, and that's Avis in the backfield. Hansen looking over to the sideline, and his offensive coordinator, Matt McLean. Here's a snap, and penalty flags down. Looks like a penalty. Might be procedure against the Falcons. Let's go down to John Shido, who's been out there during this drive, which started Johnny back at the West 20-yard line.
Yeah, you're seeing reminiscence of the first drive or second drive that Davenport West had, with Hansen breaking the pocket and doing a lot of quarterback direct runs. And when he throws the ball quick, they've had some success with that. But, when the defensive line gets to him or you have slow developing routes, that's when kind of things broke down for West.
Yeah, it sure did. 5-yard penalty against West. They were assessed. Moves it back to the 14-yard line thanks to John Chido on the Dowling sideline. 49 seconds or thereabouts left in the third quarter. West knocking on the door. They're in the red zone. It'll be second down and 7. Here's Hansen, and he's hit and stacked up in the backfield. Quarterback draw, and Hansen goes down back at the 15-yard line, so he'll lose a yard.
And again, once Carson Hagan gets his hands on him, it's over. And he ran right into Carson, and Carson swallowed him up for no gain. This drive is eerily similar to the end of the first quarter. The penalty moved him back right at the end of the quarter. We feel like time is going to run out here, and they're going to flip sides of the field here.
That's the 6th stack on the Dowling's defense tonight, and that is the end of the third quarter. With the score, Dowling Catholic 35, Davenport West nothing. We'll move to the fourth quarter in this Class 5A district playoff game from Duke Williams Stadium on Des Moines' east side. Dowling leading 35-0. Back in 1 minute here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
This is a Young Catholic Minute.
Do people who commit suicide automatically go to hell?
The death of a loved one through suicide is one of the toughest things for anyone to deal with. But fortunately, all is not necessarily lost. While it's true that suicide is listed under the grave list of sins, remember that 2 other things must happen at the time of the sin for it to be considered mortal. 1, the sin has to be fully consented to. 2, the person has to know that what they are doing is mortally wrong. We can never know exactly what a victim of suicide is going through, but depression or other mental illnesses can lead a person to do things he or she would not normally consider doing in their right mind. And if they're not fully in control of their thoughts or their actions, then God, in His perfect, infinite mercy, will know and judge them accordingly. For more Young Catholic Minutes, go to youtube.com/youngcatholic.
And we're back here at Duke Williams Stadium on Des Moines' east side, home of the Grandview University Vikings, ranked in the top 5 in NAIA football this year. And, of course, Des Moines East also uses this field. Dowling is a postseason field, apparently, and Maroons now
coming here quite a bit.
Yeah, quite a while. And tonight we had the glitches. Modern technology, but, boy, it was on the blink, and they've done a great job. Lowell Long and the folks here at Des Moines East doing a great job, and I think we've got everything somewhat fixed, although the clock skips, it seems like. But
yeah.
All right. It's 3rd and 7 now for Davenport West. They'll split the field. 4 receivers to left, 1 to the right. Davenport West going right to left, south to north. And now Hansen will keep it, and he runs out of bounds shy of the right around the 10-yard line.
And Jimmy Wanek was out there this time. He says, you're not going to get around my corner of the field this time, and races him out of bounds. maybe 1 yard gain or probably no gain as Wanik ran him out of bounds.
This will bring up 4th down, 4th and about 4, they'll call it. Line of scrimmage is a 12-yard line, so Hansen picked up 3 yards on that run.
Well, they're going to try and kick field goal again.
Going to try to. They did it last time, and it was partially blocked. They'll set the ball down at the 17-yard line, so a 27-yard field goal by the Falcons. Ball is down. Now it's a fake. They do the option play, and it's incomplete. The shuffle pass over the line of scrimmage, incomplete. Fell harmlessly to the ground, and the quarterback is Brady Hansen. He is the holder, and he flipped it to the right end, whoever was responsible for blocking, and he flipped it too far, but it was a shuffle pass. Remember those?
Yeah.
And incomplete.
Tried to flip it over the top of the pile.
And let's go down to John Scheidel as the Maroons hold, Johnny. West goes from their 20 down to the Dowling 12, and the incomplete pass seals the deal, and the Dowling defense holds once again.
Yeah, they did. And Davenport West had some good things going, as you guys mentioned, throughout that drive. It's just, when they get behind the chains and they get out of what they want to do, it allows the Dowling defense to pin their ears back and kind of go after the quarterback a little bit.
C.J. Phillip in there, and he takes the ball up to about the 15-yard line.
And we have Cataldo in at quarterback right now. And Dante handed the ball off to C.J. Phillip, and now C.J. Phillip comes off, and Dowling goes empty here on 2nd down.
So Dante with 2 receivers to the right, 3 to the left. Has Cataldo in at quarterback. Dante, a 6'1", 170-pound junior.
One update here, Mark. Waukee recovered a fumble with 6 minutes to go and has the ball up 9-0.
Yeah, they're shutting out Cedar Rapids Kennedy in Cedar Rapids. Cataldo fakes downfield, fires it out. It's caught. Nice catch that time by Bo Gamble, and he's got the first down across the 40 up to the 43-yard line.
Nice catch and a good play, really good play by Dante Cataldo there to extend that play. I think everybody on this side of the stadium thought he was going to take off and run except for Dante. He found Bo Gamble down the field and threw a dart right on the money, and big gain for the Maroons.
27-yard completion and a first down Dowling. Pistol formation for the Maroons. And the handoff is to C.J. Phillip right up the gut over center. And he's loose in the secondary. Spins out of a tackle, and he's finally brought down inside the Davenport West 40-yard line, officially the 39, and a first down.
And the Maroons right now have sprinkled in some starters and some secondary people in here. But I see Jalen Thompson still on the field. You've got Hank Brown on the field yet, and Bo Gamble, and some of that offensive line still intact as Dante Cataldo runs the offense down the field.
18-yard run for C.J. Phillip. First down, Dowling. Cataldo with Phillip standing next to him, and he fakes gives the handoff to him around left end, and he might go down the far sideline. Goes C.J., and he's finally wrapped up inside the 20. They'll spot him down right about the 18-yard line, but he got around left end, and now a penalty flag on the back end of all this.
Yeah, penalty comes down there on the field.
You have 2 penalty markers down.
Okay, so we got to keep an eye on that, as you don't want to see anything carry over, because for whoever advances, right now Dowling in the lead here.
Did you see anything, John?
I think you're going to have a holding penalty and then something after the play, so it might be offsetting.
Officials getting together.
Depending on what the second one was. The first one's going to be on Dowling.
Craig Van Vark, our referee, along with his crew, Kyle Ward, T.J. Augustine, Todd Brorda, Carter Tryon. Congratulations to their postseason berth, a Class 5A district game, and they're sorting all this out. In the meantime, I want to thank our supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio all season long, Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, and Dental Associates. Dowling is approaching the red zone, the Bows and the Flores red zone. So an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against both teams, but Dowling was assessed the penalty before that. And the Maroons will be assessed, and that'll be the one that sticks out, and that'll be assessed back to the 38-yard line is where the Maroons offense will start.
Just a couple things of note, Mark, here while we got a moment here is, again, good luck to the cross-country teams tomorrow. Coach Eyes has done an amazing job with that program and really has created tradition, and you get runners like Jackson Heidich and stuff leading the charge. Going to be a fun day for those kids down at Fort Dodge, and for the girls. Coach Perriott has done an outstanding job as well, has them ranked 8th, and see where that leads. And then also good luck to the volleyball team. Coach Wiskus will be playing in Coralville as the state tournament has moved, and we're playing in Coralville on Monday with a game at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
And they're playing at Extreme Arena. That's a change from being in Cedar Rapids all those years, and they're using Extreme Arena. That is where the Iowa Hawkeye women's volleyball team has their home matches, and it's a beautiful arena. Matter of fact, I, over the summer, was in a hotel, stayed there for a few days. That's right next to it, and they've really kind of built that up. It's kind of like one of those cities within a suburb. Ankeny has that, and so does Waukee now, and that's what they've done in Coralville, as you mentioned. And great job by Mary Beth Wiskus and the Dowling volleyball team. They'll take on conference rival Ankeny Centennial. I think out of the 8 teams, 6 or 7 are from the CIML. So that's what Class 5A looks like. All right, now we're ready. Pistol formation, Dowling with a first down from the West 38. They give it to the tailback, and now it's a matter of that's Moore in there. Jack Moore, the carrier, ball carrier for Dowling.
And gets around the right edge and has a nice run there for the Maroons as they punch the ball down the field, second and short. Again, up 35-0. The clock, this is just chewing up a lot of clock time as you have that running clock situation with the 35-point lead.
Moore with a 7-yard gain. As
a big update here, Valley scored and is now ahead of Pleasant Valley. I think awaiting the extra point, they are up 15-10.
All right, here's Moore again. Gets outside. He's going to go in near this goal line, and a penalty flag down at the end of the play. But Jack finally tackled right around the 2-yard line with a penalty flag. Coming in, a 29-yard run. Let's see if it stands.
I have a feeling it's going to be a hold on the back side.
Yeah, well, they'll mark it from the 8-yard line. That's where the flag landed. 7:15 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Dowling leading 35-0. Maroons led at halftime 28-0. And Maroons led 14-0 at the end of the first quarter to break things down. Now we got a hitting a defensive player on by the offense. So that's going to be a personal foul. Spotted from the 15-yard line, I believe. And that's where they're marking it from, actually the 10. And then we'll move it back to the 25-yard line.
Such a tough call for those offensive linemen. They're going down the field and trailing the play, and they're hitting the first thing they see. And the defenseless player means he hit him in front. It wasn't a hit from behind, but it's the defender didn't see him coming.
So it moves the ball back to the 24-yard line of Davenport West. And they get the down and distance now to be first down for the Maroons. 1st and 10 from the West 24. As Dante Cataldo in at quarterback. He's got Moore in the backfield, 2 receivers left. And the handoff to Moore, right side, trying to turn it upfield just like the same play as before, and he scampers down near the 15, maybe the 16 they call it. 16-yard line, and a nice gain of 8 yards.
Yeah, and they get the offensive line, that first group is still out there for the Maroons. And part of this is at this point in the season, you want them to get the reps, and they need to. If you rest too much, they're going to play some full games here coming up, and so there's a little bit of that going on as well.
All right, Cooper Nicholson and Bo Gamble split out wide left. Crutchlow the fullback, Moore the tailback. Handoff is to Moore. Jack follows his fullback, Crutchlow, and he dives forward towards the 10. He's got the first down, and he'll be brought down at about the 10, or rather the 11-yard line or so. First down, Dowling.
Nice run by Jack Moore as Crutchlow kicked out the end, and and then Jack Moore cuts up right behind him for the first down. And now you see the first-string offensive line come out, and Dowling makes a complete change on offense as a whole new crew comes in outside of Dante, stays on the field, and Jack Moore.
Yeah, and Johnny, I know you're kind of monitoring here, but for post-game interviews, Mr. Crutchlow, I think, was on our list earlier.
Yeah, he does all the things that doesn't get recognized but mean everything to your offense, being that utility guy, fullback, and, he does all the blocking.
Yeah, he certainly does. This time Cataldo hands it off to Moore, and he's wrapped up and immediately loses yardage back to the 18-yard line, so he'll lose 6 yards. And it'll bring up second down and long for Dowling Catholic. So Hunter Crutchlow is on the nomination to have that microphone and talking to John Chido in the post-game show, which we'll have here at Williams Stadium following tonight's game. 5 minutes left here in the fourth quarter, continuous clock, and Dowling leading 35-0 over Davenport West. Cataldo back to throw, looks left, now runs right, inside the 20, fires into the end zone, and he underthrew his intended receiver as he was running. Kind of hard to make that throw, but the pass incomplete.
They're going to call it, they're throwing a flag here, and Dante was over the line of scrimmage. I thought that when he threw the ball, he released it on about the 15, and the line is on the 19. Is that the read, John?
Yeah, I think that's what the call is going to be.
Reichart was the intended receiver, and nonetheless, it's a loss of down.
Yes.
It'll bring up third down. So third and, let's see, they can get a first down at the 2. The ball's back at the 24-yard line following the penalty. So third and 22 for a first down. Cataldo with 3 receivers left, 2 to the right. Empty backfield. Here's the snap. Dante now faces pressure, steps up, and he's going to be sacked back at the 28-yard line by Davenport West. He'll lose 4 yards and bring up fourth down for the Maroons.
Be interested to see if Coach brings in, this would be a long field goal, see if he brings Schumacher in to try and kick this field goal. And it would be a roughly 35, 45-yard field goal if they do attempt it.
I think he's going to run a play, Coach.
Yeah, I think he's going to run a play.
He's going to bring in extra receiver there as Michael Reichart, the senior, who's already caught a touchdown pass tonight. He, along with Danny Nielsen, slot left, tight end. 2 receivers to right. So 5 receivers back to throw. Cataldo fires over the middle. It's caught! Nice catch, but he's shy of the first down.
Yeah.
He stretched out, did Nick Calvert.
Yeah, great catch.
And a catch to move it to the 11-yard line, and Davenport West will take over on downs.
He broke the first tackle after he made that great catch, and it looked like for a second he might get to the first down marker.
So nice reception that time by Calvert, but he needed to get inside the 2 for a first down, and obviously beyond that was a touchdown. So West will take over first and 10 from their own 10-yard line.
And as these scores continue to come in, that Pleasant Valley score is going to turn the whole thing upside down a little bit with the number 1 team, depending on which ranking you looked at, Pleasant Valley getting upset by Valley.
They're the 4th seed in the RPI. That's what
right.
we go by. They have rankings out there by the Des Moines Register and Radio Iowa and such, but they just go by the RPI, and they are the 4th ranked team, 4th seeded team. And Valley, if they can hang on, that would be a big upset. As a handoff goes to Avis from his own 10-yard line. He drags tacklers up across the 15 to the 17-yard line, gain of 7 as the running clock. 2:40 left in the fourth quarter. Dowling leading 35-0, Matt?
Roughly 2:40.
Well, we know
quickly, wouldn't
you? If you're here, you know the clock goes in increments of 7 to 10 seconds, and then it just falls off. It's not into individual digits because they've had a malfunction, but they've got it working.
Yep.
We lost the scoreboard several times tonight, and we were guessing. Back to throw. Hansen fires it near side. The pass is caught. Nice move by the receiver after the catch.
Really good job.
And hit and drop right about the 27-yard line. Nice job by Davenport West. They haven't quit yet, as Ian Kinney, who is made a lot of catches tonight, made that one.
And they've got, depending on how quickly and Coach Cruzy is running plays in from the sidelines yet, so they're not in a hurry-up style offense here, and probably about 4 or 5 plays left.
Well, what a job he has done in his third year. Didn't win a game that first year, which was the COVID year. They went 0-9, and then they won 1 game last year and lost 8 in a row following that. And then this year they are 7-2, but their season will come to an end following the game tonight. Hansen back to throw, looks right, throws right, and the pass is caught across the 30 and up near the 33-yard line on the reception.
Landon Wright with the catch for the Falcons, as I believe it Joe Hughes on the stop there for the Maroons, and Luca Scigliano in there with the stop.
Is that right, Johnny?
Right? Yeah, Scigliano.
Little
yes.
Skigs. All right. It's a minute left. Back to throw is Hansen. Avoids tackles. Now he's going to go down. He tried to throw it after he was wrapped up, and he finally did go down, and Maroons get another sack.
And is that 97 Tommy Keipel there with the sack.
So a sack by Keifel. That is the unofficially 7th sack by the Dowling defense tonight.
And they have had their way up front and have put a lot of pressure on Hansen. And Hansen, to his credit, has been able to escape, get some yardage. And, they put together 2 good drives at the end of the first quarter and at the end of the third quarter. And then it just
only to come
fell
up
apart.
empty.
Yeah.
Only to come up empty, yeah. All right, here's Hansen. Loss of 10 on the play.
And this will be the last play.
Back to the 23-yard line. Well, we're guesstimating.
Yeah.
We're guesstimating. 35-0, and I think
under 5 seconds.
Yeah, the officials now, I think, have told the players. And final seconds are actually ticking off. And that'll do it. Dowling advances out of the first round. Who they'll meet? Well, they'll meet the winner of the Cedar Rapids-Kennedy Waukee Northwest game. I know Mr. Mainring is keeping that score close. But 35-0, Dowling advances. Congratulations to head coach Tom Wilson and to the Dowling Catholic team. They advance. Their record now 9-1. Matt?
It is a win. So the Maroons will be playing Waukee Northwest.
And what was the score
next
of that?
week? It is 9-0. And so Waukee Northwest wins 9-0 over Kennedy.
Okay.
And so the game will be here next week, correct, Mark?
That's
the game
correct.
Will be here next week.
Well, Dowling will
Friday
be the home
night.
team, yes.
Yep.
So Northwest, congratulations to Coach Kapatic. They get a playoff win, the first in their history. And John Chido, I know we're going to go to break here, but how about that? That'll be another matchup, or a rematch for Dowling Catholic of earlier this year where Dowling and Waukee Northwest met. That was week 2 back on September 2nd, Labor Day weekend. And the Maroons came away with a 45-19 win. So we have that rematch, John.
Yeah, and every time you play a team twice, it's going to be different because both teams are different than the first go-around, especially when they played Northwest. I think it was the second or third game of the year. A lot has changed. Personnel has changed, and kind of strategies do. So it's going to be you know your opponent, but then you're going to have to learn a little bit more about them because, like I said, a lot of things changed from that second game.
Yeah, I think Northwest, John, didn't get off to a great start. They had kind of a murderer's row for opponents. They had the Dowlings and teams like that, and I think they started like 1-3, and then they've rebounded. And to win at Kennedy tonight, and Kennedy's team was undefeated up till a few weeks ago, that says a lot about where that Waukee program has come this year.
Yeah, it sure has. And, Coach Kapatic does a great job, and they did have a tough schedule up front. I mean, I think that was one of the tougher schedules throughout the 5A division, and to be able to bounce back and make the playoffs, and then not only that, get you a first-round win.
That is correct. All right, we'll take a break, and I know we got Hunter Crutchlow as our nomination. John, I don't know who you'll have to find the second one, but we want to talk to some of the kids during the postgame show, which will be coming up, so I'll let you go to work there. Along with John Chido, I'm Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring, and we'll come back. We'll have the final game statistics of this contest between Dowling Catholic and Davenport West. As Davenport West closes out their season with a record of 7-3, Dowling advances with their record now improves to 9-1 as Dowling advances to the second round of the 5A playoffs. We'll be back with our postgame show and statistics following these messages here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Honey, I'm so excited for our kitchen remodel.
All right, you love birds. Floors?
Natural hardwood.
Okay. Wow, that was quick. Countertops?
Definitely natural granite.
Check.
Woohoo!
And that wall?
Tear it down. It let in more natural sunlight.
Done.
Whoa.
Speaking of tearing down walls, your family planning. Natural, right?
Natural family planning is 99% effective at achieving or delaying pregnancy, and there are no harmful chemicals, so it's better for you and the environment. Tear down the wall.
A message from Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and pre- and post-operative care. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
Hi, my name is Darcy Hoffman from St. John's Catholic Church in Nadell. Thanks for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio, 1150 AM KWKY Des Moines, 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines, 88.5 FM KIHS Adel. Online anytime at iowacatholicradio.com.
And welcome back to Williams Stadium on Des Moines' east side. Dowling Catholic a winner tonight by the score of 35-0 over Davenport West as the Maroons advance with a record of 9-1, and they will host Waukee Northwest, who earlier tonight defeated a very fine Cedar Rapids Kennedy team 9-0. So it'll be Dowling and Waukee Northwest, a rematch of Week 2 of the high school football season. Final game statistics, courtesy of Coach Seifert. Do a great job. 349 yards of total offense for the Dowling team tonight as Davenport West won 168 yards of total offense. Dowling 98 yards passing, 251 yards on the ground, and Davenport West 110 yards passing and 58 yards on the ground. The Maroons were penalized 7 times for 50 yards. Davenport West 3 penalties for 15 yards. Maroons with 18 first downs, 12 first downs for Davenport West. Jackson Smolik tonight, 5 out of 10 passing, 53 yards and a touchdown. Dante Cataldo, 2 out of 3 passing for 45 yards. For Davenport West, Brady Hansen, the 6'1", 200-pound senior, 10 out of 17 passing, 110 yards, no touchdowns, and no interceptions. Leading rusher for Dowling, Rashad Davis, 14 carries, 132 yards, and a pair of touchdowns. C.J. Phillip, 7 carries, 89 yards, and a pair of touchdowns for the Maroons. Jack Moore, 5 carries for 35 yards. For Davenport West, their leading ball carrier was Tucker Avis, 13 carries, 39 yards. Devin Sanders Howard, 1 carry for 16 yards. Quarterback Brady Hansen had 19 carries for 8 yards. Leading receiver for Dowling Catholic, Bo Gamble, 1 catch for 28 yards. Jalen Thompson, a pair of catches for 27 yards. Nick Calvert, 1 catch for 17 yards for Dowling. Michael Reichart, 1 catch for 14 yards and a touchdown. Cooper Nicholson, 1 catch tonight for 13 yards. For Davenport West, their leading receiver was Dalton Thompson, 5 catches, 64 yards. Their tight end, Landon Wright, 2 catches for 22 yards. Ian Kinney, 1 catch for 10 yards. And their wide receiver, 6'7", 215-pounder Mitch Irwin, tonight 1 catch for 10 yards. And finally, Marvin Neely with 1 catch for 4 yards to lead Davenport West. And the Maroons had unofficially 6 sacks tonight. I think Carson Hagan had about 3 of them, and they're going to give him credit for 2. And we saw that earlier tonight. Tommy Keipel had a sack as the Maroons had their way on that defensive line. But again, total yardage tonight for Dowling Catholic, 349 yards to 168 for Davenport West. We thank Coach Jared Seifert for providing those numbers here at Duke Williams Stadium. Again, the final, Dowling with the win 35-0. And John Chotto, you all set?
Yeah, we're waiting.
Go right ahead. Take it away. Who you got? Introduce your team down there.
Well, Hunter, we got Hunter Crutchlow first, and then I got a bunch of guys around here that Jack Moore, we got to get a question in for him as well. But Hunter, senior year, your senior year, you do a lot of the blocking up front, which is very critical. They call you the utility guy. You don't get a lot of recognition on air, but you are so important to the team because you do so much. Just talk about your role this year.
Yeah, no, it's been a great year. It's a great win for us. The whole team did really good, and defense stopped them, which allows me to get out there, and special teams gets them down quick, so get me in there, and just a great win for us.
And you're like that extra lineman in there, and you create a lot of running lanes for CJ tonight and Rashad, and you guys really did a nice job, especially in the first half, running the football.
Yeah, 11 men working together, get it done, and then get a touchdown, special teams, and the defense stop them, and keep repeating it over and over.
Thank you, Hunter.
All right. Dowling Catholic, Hunter Crutchlow, the utility guy, they call those guys, the extra fullback with John Chido. Dowling winning 35-0. They will meet Waukee Northwest back on the field. And John Chido, who you got?
Jack Moore, nice runs there, being able to have your patience and seeing the holes develop. But you've done that all year. And you got that third running back. That's a great group to have, these running backs this year with Rashad and CJ and yourself and Hunter, who we just talked to?
Yeah, I mean, we work as hard as we can all summer long. Always don't always get the spotlight, but once I get the opportunity, gotta make it count.
Your senior year, playing your first playoff game as a senior, tell us all about that. Your preparation for this first playoff game.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter. Number 2 seed, number 16 seed, we always prepare like it's a championship game. So we got to give everything we got every single time.
Well, good luck to you guys the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, John, thanks for that interview. I don't know if you're going to get one more player or not. We certainly have the time. Dowling a winner tonight, 35-0 over Davenport West. I know head coach Tom Wilson will be on. But, Johnny, we'll go back down to you. Who'd you find?
Peyton, you battled some injuries, through the season, I think last year into the start of this season, and you battled back from that, and you really have developed in a nice role for this defense. And your play tonight, I think you've earned that backfield with putting the pressure with the Rumley and Heikis and Hagen and the rest of the defensive crew.
Yeah, it was a tough couple of years. Battled through some injuries. Great trainers. Coach Jack's always there to help me push through. And it's just fun to go out there and play with these guys, especially on the D-line. We're a big family. We're all brothers. It's great.
Yeah, the defensive line is – you guys were real aggressive up front, but I think West had that drive, and then you guys held them, and then kind of the similar drive late in the game, too. Similar situation. They got down the red zone. The defense stood tall again.
Yeah, we definitely had a couple moments there in the first couple drives, but we just played complimentary football. Offense put the points up, and we came back, got some stops down the field, and we made some adjustments, and hopefully we can clean it up next week.
Well, good luck to you guys the rest of the way. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, John Chido with one of the Dowling defensive linemen. That's Peyton Johnston, who was, as you mentioned, injured for most of the year and then came back, and he plays right in there with Carson Hagen and those front three. And now we'll head over to John Chido. Back down to John Chido following Dowling's win tonight, 35-0 over Davenport West. He has the head coach, Tom Wilson of Dowling.
Coach, congratulations on the win tonight, first playoff game, and moving on to the second round. Your thoughts on the game?
Well, I just, it was kind of strange, to be honest with you. No clock working, and, we were kind of off to what I thought was a slow start. We were able to put 35 points up, then the penalties at the end, or else we could have punched another one in. But, at this point in time, you just got to win ball games. And we advance, and we get to play Waukee Northwest again, and we know it'll be a different game than what it was last time, and we're just going to have to prepare and get ready to play well.
Special teams, your punt return game was really good to set up some nice field position. Trey had a lot of nice runs and gave the short fields, and you guys capitalized on those short fields. And West had those drives that stalled out a little bit, but credit the defense and the pressure that you guys put on the West quarterback.
Yeah, and he's a nice player, honestly. He's kind of a load to bring down, and they did a nice job of mixing him in the run game. And we did have field position. Sometimes you don't know which way Trey's going to go, but usually it's forward, and it was good that we had the blocks to allow him to do that.
Well, Coach, congratulations again, and best of luck next week.
All right, thank you.
John Chido with head coach Tom Wilson following the Maroons win 35-0 over Davenport West. Again, Dowling improves its record now to 9-1, and they will take on Waukee Northwest, 7 o'clock next Friday, right here at Duke Williams Stadium on Des Moines' east side. And for Davenport West, congratulations to head coach Brandon Cruzy. What a year. They went from last to being in the hunt, and they went 0-8 his first year back in 2020, and then 1-8 in 2021, and then this year he's 7-2. They complete their season with a record of 7-3, and the turnaround continues for Coach Cruzy. Hats off to him and his staff. I know it's going to be a long ride back to Davenport, but the kids are starting to buy into what he's telling them, so hats off to them. Matt, before we go to break and John makes his way back up here, you've got some final scores. We've got some exciting games, and that Johnson City High game is still being played with about 9 minutes left, so we'll see how that turns out.
Over at Johnston and able to pick this up online, but Johnston's ahead with 8 minutes to go, almost 9 minutes to go, 31-24 as Iowa City High is fighting back into the game, and Iowa City High just took the ball, and they're at the 50-yard line, 1st and 10, so exciting game over there. But the game that's most important for Dowling Catholic, Waukee Northwest beats Cedar Rapids Kennedy 9-0, and so that's who they will play next week. Ames is up, or Southeast Polk was up big on Ames, 49-3 at one point. Cedar Rapids Prairie up big on Linn-Mar. And so the only game in question really is Iowa City High at Joensen at this point. Ankeny beats Sioux City East 17-0. Valley pulls the upset against Pleasant Valley 15-10. So the only undefeated team gets taken out. And Ankeny Centennial falls to Cedar Falls. Cedar Falls wins 14-10.
So there you go. That's our scoreboard. How about that for a post-game show on a nice, cool, crisp night of fall playoff football? And, of course, you got that. Now, the Johnston live stream is tremendous. They do a good job. Randy Sparks is their guy, coordinates it with some of the students there, and they do a tremendous job, and they're showing that live, so we're watching it on our phone. We'll keep you updated. That is one game that, for some reason, is running way behind compared to others, Matt.
Yeah, it is. It's
Must
way
be a
behind.
lot of pass incomplete.
Probably.
Incomplete. A lot of passes.
Yeah, the ball's in the air a lot, and Iowa City High is moving the ball. They were on 3rd and 14 there, and they completed the pass, and so they're moving down close to a first down there.
All right. Well, reminder as we talk to Coach Tim Ives, the Dowling boys cross country coach, they're going for another state title, and that would be Coach Ives' 8th. Go back to back tomorrow at 2:45 up at Kennedy Park on the golf course there, and it's a beautiful layout for a cross country course. Hats off to him and the Dowling coaching staff as they Coach Griffin Jaworski and the Dowling girls run at 2 o'clock, and they are currently 8th ranked. Dowling girls are, and they're hoping for a top 10 finish, I think. And Dowling boys, the defending champs. And again, that'll be at 2:45 at Lakeside Municipal Golf Course at Kennedy Park in Fort Dodge. Dowling girls volleyball team, they'll be in action on Monday afternoon at 2 o'clock. Their match begins against Ankeny Centennial. Both teams split their matches this regular season, and that'll all be at the Extreme Arena in downtown Coralville, which is a suburb of Iowa City, as I think. Right?
Yeah.
But that's where state volleyball is in the Iowa City Coralville area.
And the swimmers are entering their
next
last week.
Yeah, next week
before they have their state tournament or their state meet at Iowa City as well. I will say I'm looking forward to the matches at Coralville because the fans are going to be down on the floor.
Instead of up in the bleachers.
Yeah, when you're up in Cedar Rapids, you're up above, and it doesn't have quite the same feel as it will being on the floor. So that should be exciting to watch.
All right, we'll take a break, come back, we'll recap the scoring. Dowling with the win tonight, 35-0. The Maroons led 28-0 at halftime. And just ran the clock out, the running clock in the second half. They got it early. 35-0 the final. Dowling over Davenport West. We'll return to Williams Stadium here on Des Moines East Side following these messages here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Whatever happened to the modern world? Hi, this is Cy Kellett, host of Catholic Answers Live. Join me on Saturday, December 10th at the Embassy Suites downtown for Iowa Catholic Radio's Dinner in December. I'll be speaking about what we can do to help recover a modern world fit for people. Plus, enjoy a fabulous meal and fellowship with your Iowa Catholic Radio family. Register today at iowacatholicradio.com, iowacatholicradio.com, and I'll look forward to seeing you on December 10th in downtown Des Moines.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Mysteries of the Mass Unveiled with Father Craig Vasick at St. Pius X Catholic Church in Urbandale, Saturday, November 12th. Be inspired by the latest Eucharistic miracles around the U.S. while the Eucharistic revival builds. Learn more at iowacatholicradio.com.
And we're back here at Duke Williams Stadium on Des Moines East Side, home of the Grandview University Vikings and the Des Moines East High Scarlets. Dowling's postseason field. The Maroons win it tonight, 35-0. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring, and John Chido bringing you the broadcast here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. And, Matt, let's kind of reset the scoring as the Maroons took the opening kickoff, or rather, in their first offensive possession, drove 8 plays, 42 yards, capped off by a Rashad Davis 4-yard run. Extra point by Schumacher was good, and the Maroons led 7-0. That was all in the first quarter. Dowling came back after exchange, forcing a punt by Davenport West. C.J. Phillip capped off the drive, 7-yard run. capped off an 8-play, 80-yard drive, and the Maroons led 14-0. That was the score at the end of the first quarter. And then the second quarter, Michael Reichart with a 14-yard touchdown reception from quarterback Jackson Smolik. And that was a one-play, 14-yard drive as Dowling took advantage of field position, and they led 21-0. And then right before the half, 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first half, C.J. Phillip on a 42-yard run. Extra point was good by Schumacher. 28-0 Dowling at the half. And then in the second half, in the third quarter, Rashad Davis scored on a 7-yard run, capping off a 5-play, 56-yard drive. And Schumacher extra point was good, and that was our final, 35-0 Dowling over Davenport West. And I had to look up the World Series. Tied at 5, Philadelphia and Houston in the bottom of the sixth, 5-all between those two teams in Game 1 of the World Series tonight. So we almost forgot about that.
Yeah.
We talked about everything else a little bit.
Yeah.
And we got our sideline guy up here, and I think it's probably
started to cool off a little bit there at the end, didn't it? A little bite in the air.
It's really chilly. I mean, after halftime is when it really hit, and it's that bitter cold, that dense cold, and that's the worst kind.
Yeah. John, you heard some of the scores, and hats off. The Valley Tigers winning on the road, and Waukee Northwest winning on the road in Cedar Rapids against Kennedy, and Valley going almost to the Illinois border and beating Pleasant Valley over there.
You know, I was talking to someone earlier about Valley, and I said I would not be surprised if they go over there and they upset Pleasant Valley, because that Valley team got better as the year went on, and when they put things together, good things are going to happen. That's a team that if I'm a coach, I want to stay away from, because when it comes to playoff time with Coach Joensen and his teams, you got to be on the lookout.
Yeah, you certainly do, and you look at all these pods going on, and Southeast Polka winner tonight. Did we get a Prairie update, Matt? Do you know?
It was big. Cedar Rapids Prairie was up 50-20 the last score, and
okay.
I'm pretty sure it's a final. They won big, and Southeast Polk won big.
Okay, so it'll be Southeast Polk at Prairie in their pod. That's Pod B. That game will be at Southeast Polk next Friday night. Again, Dowling will play Waukee Northwest next Friday. We're guessing it'll be here at Duke Williams Stadium. Other pods had Ankeny defeating Sioux City East 17-0 the final there. And Johnston, as we were mentioned, still playing against City High of Iowa City. Matt,
now tied up 31-31 with 6:39 to go. Johnston has the ball back, but all the momentum has gone to Iowa City High.
All right, and the final pod is Pod D, and we mentioned Valley with a 15-10 winner over the 4th seed Pleasant Valley, and Ankeny Centennial and Cedar Falls. Cedar Falls a winner there, 14-10. So Valley will go to the Unidome and play on Friday up in Cedar Falls. So that's kind of how it looks. This Johnston City High game has everybody's interest. You said it's tied at 31, Matt?
Tied at 31, 6 minutes to go. So it's coming down the wire. And of all the games, you kind of thought that one might be one of the battles that would go back and forth as but again, Johnston was up big early, and Iowa City battled back.
I'm looking at your sheet, and you had them up early, and then all of a sudden it's kind of whittled away.
Coming back.
It certainly is. Yeah. 24-14 at one time, 14-3 Johnston, 24-14, and now tied at 31. So we'll see if the Dragons can hang on. And, again, we want to thank everybody. We want to thank Coach Ives for being our halftime guest, taking time out of his day to visit with me and provide that. And
it'll be a great day to get up, a good day tomorrow to go watch them run up at Fort Dodge. And it is the last race of the day. We got used to that time in the morning. They were always the first race in the morning on Saturday morning, which was kind of nice because you could drive up there and park. Because now you're going to go up there.
And there'll be people already parked.
And people already parked. You'll be parking in a field. You almost got to run a cross-country meet to get to the park.
But it's on a golf course.
Yeah, that's true. So, but you have parking a long ways away, though.
That's beautiful.
Walk in, but it's still worth it to go watch them run it.
Lakeside Municipal Golf course on the campus of Kennedy Park is just tremendous. They kept it up, and I was up there a few weeks ago for my daughter's cross-country meet, and it is in great condition. So some good times tomorrow, and again, best of luck to Coach Jaworski, the girls coach at Dowling, and the boys coach Tim Ives. So state cross-country champs being done. And, Matt, we talked about a lot. We recapped a little bit of the pancake breakfast. Thanks to everybody that showed up on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember serving Mr. Chido. Did he come in through your line? Or?
I don't think he would have tried that.
Really?
And, well, but I was being given a hard time because my pancakes were a little too big at times.
Who's doing that?
Well, I don't know.
No, I mean, who's giving you a hard time? Your wife?
Well, sometimes she was saying there's a diagram of how big they're supposed to be.
Yeah,
but
they give you a free diagram and
I know,
you try to match it.
But that's how big my dough.
Well, they had a crime scene around Mark's section, and the crime was that he burnt the pancakes. I heard there were some burnt pancakes in your.
Well, there was a deal with Ron Gray, and that kind of got around, and I don't know how. Everybody's okay at Dowling, right?
Yeah.
Nobody got sick?
No.
Good. Well, Ron Gray was really harassing me, but he wasn't there.
He was there when I was
there. I know, but he wasn't there when I was there, but he was harassing me.
Yeah.
It was kind of, I think somebody behind the scenes, Carolyn Kirchhoff, kind of had a sign made up. But anyway, we all survived. Johnny, glad to see you made it. We had sausage this year, just in case you didn't know.
Good.
Well, me and Skiggs were making 16 pounds of pasta.
Oh yeah,
for our banquet?
How'd that banquet go?
It turned out great, and Coach Gravy got to speak about freshman football for those guys and what to expect moving on up, and all the coaches spoke, and it was a nice event.
That's great, because here's what I didn't understand, Matt. He started the year with like 35 kids and went down to 28 with injuries. But you had 150 people at this banquet. I haven't put the numbers together because his numbers grew as the season was over. I'm trying to put the analytics to that. John?
I think, we let all families, and I think everybody signed up to come to this event because it was good food, Mark. It was.
Coach Skiggs are making it for 150 people. I'm trying to do the math.
That's what happens when you got a good cook.
Oh, don't patronize it. Come on.
Yeah.
See?
Awesome.
But if I'll take a lot of grief if I don't mention Dante Cattell, those rollout pass from his grandfather. But it was, I saw it. It was right in front of me, and it was a great pass.
You mean the grandfather from Norwalk? Yeah, I agree. Or are you talking about the one on the south side, Des Moines?
The one on the south side.
Oh, okay. The one that's on his recliner most of the time listening to us. But he might have been here tonight.
He does listen to the post-game every week. So.
Well, that means my phone will be shut off tomorrow when I get into work.
There you go.
Somehow that'll magically happen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, that'll wrap things up. This Johnson game is very intriguing. If Johnson has their own live stream, folks, so if you have an opportunity, just click onto the Johnson website. And this is getting out. Give us an update, Matt.
3 minutes to go, and Iowa City High is driving. They have a 3rd and 7 as the Johnston 42. So big play here, and then a decision if you don't make it, but you're going to go for it on 4th down, you're going to pin it and play for overtime, or what's going to happen here. So, here's the play, and it's incomplete.
By
City High. We can call this game. People
you have to punt it here, don't you?
Yeah, I think you got to punt it. And fourth and 7, 2:45 left. You can't give Johnston the ball here.
And still tied at 31.
Yeah.
So,
but it looks like they're keeping their offense on the field.
Yeah, unless something crazy happens, I would expect overtime.
Figure a timeout will be coming. But the winner of that game will play at Ankeny next Friday. So
which will be an outstanding game.
Yeah.
I mean, and Ankeny's score tonight was a little bit surprising.
Yeah.
At Sioux City
I saw
East,
that.
You kind of thought that they might, run away with it a little bit, but the score was closer than that. And the other thing that was impressive tonight, I mean, the CIML, the Metro really.
They certainly did very well.
Pulling some upsets, and if Johnston pulls through here, that really says a lot about the football in Des Moines.
Milwaukee Northwest and Valley getting wins on the road in eastern Iowa.
Yeah.
Hats off to them. Hey, we've got to thank everybody here. I know J.R. Randall, the athletic director here at Des Moines East, just had surgery, so his replacement was Lowell Long, and I'll tell you what, Jared Herring did a great job. John, you saw all the stuff. We had issues next door to us in the booth next door with the great equipment, but the software and the internet was going down. It affected us once, but they did a great job. And I'll tell you what, Jared Herring did a lot. He was back and forth to the field and up here, Johnny.
Yeah, he did. In any time, like Coach Wilson mentioned in the post game, when you have the referees keeping track of the time, and you always have to remember as coaches to ask how much time. And then not only that, but the play clock too.
That's true.
And the play clock.
The quarterbacks are used to
everything
that.
that these players and coaches are used to, and both sides handled it really well.
How accustomed we've come to that play clock being there. You go back 15 years.
It wasn't
play
there,
clock,
or it was optional.
Right.
Yeah,
and
now it's there.
Iowa City High is going for it on 4th down. and it is incomplete over the middle. So Joensen will get the ball at their own 42.
So they have
let's see if there's a penalty. No penalty.
58 yards for Joensen to get into field goal range, and they have a kicker that can do it.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned when we played them that we didn't get a chance to see the kicker, and you talked about that the whole game.
They have a kicker that can boot it, and they may have a chance to get in position.
Well,
I think they
I thought they were going to show a penalty here, but they no penalty, so Johnston will have the football, and not many yards to go for an opportunity for a field goal.
Yeah, they just got to get
30.
Couple of passes into there. Well, we're going to sign off, guys, because this will be interesting. We can recap that next week. But Matt, thanks for joining us in the booth. Johnny, thanks for your work on the field and those interviews with those players, especially Crutchlow. That was a good one because that kid doesn't get enough credit as far as statistical carries and all that. But he's that extra lineman out there.
He is, and he does such a great job, and he's such a nice young man. Not only a football player, but he's such a nice young man, and just it was nice, and to see him blossom throughout the years. You know, he's one of the players we coached in 8th grade.
That's
and
right.
Seeing him as a senior, and he's all about the team, and all these kids are, and it's just a great thing to see.
And he answered the questions well, and very professional, and
a lot of these guys, it's hard to get them to talk.
He is a great kid, always smiling.
So I have to ask, where did you play him in 8th grade?
He played running back, fullback, and that was the first year I was coaching running backs, and I said, you know what, guys, you're going to play both running back and fullback. You need to learn them both, because who knows what you're going to be playing when you get older. So.
And here we are. He's the utility. They call it the utility guy. Coach Wilson's offense now.
Of course, it's a little bit more sophisticated. I mean, ours are a little bit more simpler back then. I mean, when you get to varsity, you have so many more responsibilities.
Yep. Okay. Well, that'll wrap things up. John, Matt, thank you, and we'll sign off. Thanks to Jennifer Phelps. She is our studio producer here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Thanks for Jennifer sitting in tonight. Appreciate that. Our next broadcast will be next Friday night. It'll be Dowling taking on Waukee Northwest, a rematch of week number 2. We'll have it this coming Friday night. 7 o'clock, we'll kick it off from Duke Williams Stadium here on Des Moines East Side. We'll go on the air at 6:30 with our pregame show, so hope you can join us for the second round of the Class 5A District Playoffs. For Jennifer Phelps, for Matt Manning and John Child, this is Mark Amadale thanking you for tuning in tonight. Best of luck to Coach Ives. Appreciate having him on during our halftime today. And that'll wrap things up. Again, the final, Dowling 35, Davenport West nothing. The Maroons will move on to next week. For everybody involved with our broadcast tonight, thank you. And this is Mark Amadale wishing everyone a safe and blessed, faith-filled weekend.
Coverage of Dowling Catholic Sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, Mercy One, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Skeffington's Formalware, and Bosun the Florist. Please support the businesses that underwrite Iowa Catholic Radio. The proceeding has been a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio.